Welcome back once again. Hello, everybody. I'm StormyD, and this is Stormkeep of Stormsaga Games. My goodness. Right over there, we have our other two fellow streamers, extirpatefate and Druid IRL. Introduce yourselves and your characters, please, and we'll loop things back around again.
Druid's first.
I'm Druid IRL, and I play Fern, who's a wood elf, Circle of Spores Druid, and this is Stronkopod, formerly known as Chonko Pillar, but he is now Stronkopod.
Perfect. And
hello, everybody. I am Fate. I am playing Lorkris, the Goliath, who is a Oathbreaker Paladin of Melora and a Path to the Grave Cleric of Ouijas.
He will send you to Ouija.
Well, I don't think he... Yeah, we'll discuss that in a second.
And right over here...
Sorry, I can't help it.
Why?
I like saying that. Hi, everybody. I am itsStarkitty. I am playing a half-elf bard by the name of Emillynn Ray. She is a bard of the College of the Battle Singer, and this is Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Philip has an actual name, but Emillynn can't pronounce it.
Yep. So Philip is his name. Welcome in, one and all. It's so good to you look at that. That's such an awesome emote that Banana Tom made. You're amazing.
Oh, yeah.
This one right here.
Oh, Banana Tom said I pulled a BT. That's right. I pulled a BT where I'm sitting here chatting while muted. Except I wasn't actually muted. It was literally a technical flaw, but it happens.
Speaking of Banana Tom, thank you for the resub for 7 months.
Yes.
Stormy much appreciates it.
Oh yeah, I missed it. Holy crap! Thank you, my brother. 7 months. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Lucky number 7.
Hell yeah. Yeah. We've come along. Speaking of lucky number 7, last week was episode 57. This week is episode 58. And wow, a lot of stuff has been happening. Like just every so far since we hit a certain point in Act 3 of our campaign. It's just been one day after, or one episode after another, one Saturday after another, that things have just been amping up, and it's just so much fun, and I'm so honored to be here with you guys and sharing everything that's going on. So, speaking of that, my goodness, last week the party had the most amazing epic fight with the, I guess you would call it a mini boss, but really it's a boss. It was a boss fight for sure. Not the ultimate BBEG, but one of a BBEG. Yeah. And although when they first faced this guy, they thought he probably was the BBEG. Turns out he also reports to a master beyond himself. Well, reported, because he got splatted by the party members.
Exploded.
Literally exploded. They wore him down. They played their tactics brilliantly, despite the fact they had never even conceived of this creature before. And I got to give my players props. Like, I have seen veteran adventurers not handle their tactics as well as you did. You guys didn't know anything about beholders. And I've seen people who know beholders and know what they could do still didn't do as good as you guys did against that thing. So I'm impressed. StormyD is not easily impressed. In fact, I gotta just for that I gotta share my that emote that Azoli made.
Approves.
There we go. Yeah, Stormy approves of Druid and Fate's combat prowess and tactics in D&D, so well done, guys. And that goes for you too, Starkitty, because all of you worked together to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
Well, Philip did help. Me, at least.
Ares has a good point. The rolls for saves last week were just absolutely insane.
That's true. He has a good point.
They were bonkers.
It was a thing of legends. You guys were rolling crazy.
Yeah,
I was throwing every I-beam I could at you guys. The only way to make that character, that monster kind of balanced, though, is to play it the way it asks you to, which is to randomly assign the rays, right? And that's what I did. But it has the lair actions and legendary actions to shoot more rays, and it still wasn't enough. I don't know how many times I shot you guys, and you slugged off most of them.
Yeah, I think I got hit like once or twice. I know I got hit for one full one, but yeah, no, it was. Oh.
That's true. One of the hits you got was really bad. Like it was not insignificant.
But it was only like a physical damage one. It wasn't like a petrify or stun. Thankfully, like those.
Yeah, and like in the middle of it, Stormy's like, "Why aren't you using big spells?" And I'm like,
"How?"
That's true. It was rough.
And I'm also like, some of them can petrify. I need to keep my big spells available. I can't. What if they get frozen into rocks?
Yep.
I really want to read this comment from Aries, and it just gives me feels. He says, "Man, it feels like yesterday. The adventurers are being beaten up by chimeras, drowning with armor on, or just electrocuting Goliaths while they're being chewed on."
Aries with the epic summary.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can definitely check out the channel for past episodes and see what Aries is talking about.
Yep. Or seeing messages in their soup. Well remembered, Dagoth. Yep.
That is true.
Shit.
What was that?
That is like beginning.
Yeah, seeing messages in their soup. Shit.
Lucifer, thank you for the
It was just
alert.
yesterday. Fern understood what blue was, and had to communicate it.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago when you guys finally figured that out. And remember all the fights in the arena?
Oh yeah, arena was good. Steel Dawn was such a great fight.
It was. It was.
So Lone Riders was good too. That was dicey. Lone Riders was super dicey at the time.
Yeah.
Dagoth, are you saying you like the 15th episode or the first 15 episodes?
I think he means, buddy, the first 15 are my favorites. Basically, the first 15 episodes are his favorites. I find that amazing. But thank you. Yeah. No, I honestly feel like so far the best episodes have just begun, and
my
more
favorite episode is the Philip face reveal.
I kind of figured that.
We're having a lot of stuttering in viewing through my Discord, so I was just gonna close it and reopen it real quick. So it may adjust some of the layout, but
before you do that,
Druid's
then let
PC
me switch to intermission mode. Then it won't be quite as.
Okay.
Actually, I can go to. We're gonna go. Okay, we'll be right back, guys. We have a technical issue. Just a sec.
Yeah.
Completely closed and open.
Yeah. Close it. Yeah. Just launch.
All right. Try it again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna close out Discord. Okay.
We did.
Yeah.
It didn't show that you went anywhere. Are you sure? Okay.
It was Fate's Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're listening and viewing on Druids.
Right.
So.
All right. So we're back again, guys. RP scene. Cool. All right. So, oh gosh, what was it I was thinking about? Before we get into D&D, let's have a chat about one other topic that we began on Monday, and it's a shame that Ezo isn't here tonight yet, if he doesn't make it. So we discussed that probably for the induced StormyD maid cosplay, what we'll probably do is, I think this is my plan, and I wanted to talk it over with you guys and see what you all thought. When we decide to do it, which will be once we've decided and ordered and received the maid costume, which we'll talk about here in just a second, because Fate and Druid get the final vote. Hello,
welcome in, first time chatter.
So,
I agree.
on Monday, wait, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. I think what we'll do is we'll pick a D&D night, one of the D&D nights, and we'll start early. And I was going to do it in a half an hour early, but then I thought of a clever, kind of cool, neat thing that we could do. We'll actually start an hour early. It'll be a sort of a mini community day stream. So we'll try and get everybody to show up. Even if they can't do D&D, if they can show up for that hour stream. And so we'll start at 5 p.m. Central Time. I will present myself initially. Let me finish, please. I will present myself initially for this hour stream. And during that hour stream, in maid costume, I will serve Starkitty dinner. As part of the stream. That's kind of what I was thinking.
I wish you would have talked to me about this first, because I figured you were going to do it for your 2-year anniversary, because your 2-year affiliate anniversary is next month in June.
I mean, that's when we could make it happen. If you guys are okay with doing it then, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that being the timing. That means if it's in June, okay.
Yeah.
So we're only a few weeks away from it. Yeah, I agree. That actually sounds good.
Yeah, his 2-year affiliate.
What's those reactions over there?
That was better than I ever expected the pitch to be.
Okay.
It's not ready.
Well, see, the thing is, he says he served me dinner. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to cook it.
No, I will too. I'm not going to cook it on stream because we don't really have the setup for that. But I will cook it ahead of time. It will be, available, and then I will serve it to her. So that means I actually like your idea of doing it in June because that gives me some time to prep, both ordering the maid costume, and then we can discuss and figure out and plan ahead what dinner you want me to make, and so I can figure out how to make it.
The 2 options to cast your vote for the maid costume.
Oh,
Should I give him cat ears to wear too, guys?
Oh, we already discussed that.
Oh.
Yeah, they already insisted on cat ears, and I told them, yeah, well, Starkitty actually has some extra sets that I was planning on wearing. So.
Wow.
Oh.
I mean,
Yes.
it's a yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We like to
Yes.
say. All right, now that we're on that topic.
There's going to be so many clips during that. You know that, right?
I know.
It's gonna-
Monday.
The whole stream's gonna be in high.
Yeah, no, that part is gonna be literally highlighted out and then made as one of your highlights for your channel.
Yes.
I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen, guys. It'll be one of his highlights.
Okay. So Monday we're voting on the maid costume, and we ended up with a tie between 2 different ones. And we had committed to letting Fate and Druid, who couldn't make it Monday night, of course, because they were working and stuff. We understand. We were committed to letting them be the tiebreaker vote or tie continuer vote. If it turns out the tie is continued, then I will just make the tiebreaker executive decision. I don't have a way of bringing them up right now.
Is it on Discord?
No.
No.
I think I emailed it to you guys or to Druid.
You
can
emailed
bring
it
up
to
your
me.
On your tablet. And just
I can't bring it up there though for them.
That's okay. Druid will find it. She knows what's up.
I mean, I know I can bring it up and look at it, but I mean that's fine.
Okay, so here's number 1.
Okay. How do I go back? Shit, I goofed. And then
number 2. Which this one is my vote.
Oh.
Actually, I don't have.
You're voting for number 2.
That email
I'm voting for
synced
number
to-
2.
okay. Which
So
one?
just
Which one are you guys picking?
The lacy one is what she voted for.
so this is hold on. I'll show you guys. So this was number 1. Oh, number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Man-made Monday. I kind of like how that the alliteration of that.
And this was number 2.
Yep.
Which it came with stockings. So
It comes with stockings and little wristlet things and like a head. Like it's a more fully fleshed out costume.
And I think that's perfect for you.
Okay.
is that your vote? Is that your vote?
All right.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right.
All right.
All
Number
right,
2.
so before you order it, Stormy, let me
You have to
know.
feel
That way
pretty.
we can get your measurements to make sure we're ordering the right size.
Yeah. So, well, I think we Druid and I sort of went through that based upon the measurements you made for me.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna have to do is have to order the extra large one,
size.
which is the biggest one they have. And if it turns out it still doesn't fit, then we have the other one as a backup. So.
Yeah, it'll really bring out his eyes.
Okay. Well,
Why is
so that's-
Discord being shitty?
now that order of business is taken care of,
But yeah, there was also chatter Monday night about asking Starkitty to cosplay. What?
oh, there was? I didn't remember.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
somebody was like, "Is Kitty gonna cosplay?" Like,
She's not the streamer. She is not committed to anything for you guys.
This not cosplay every Saturday?
Yeah, I was right. I actually have to correct what I just said. She is committed to you guys every Saturday. And every other day that she's the super mod in chat. She's a
Yes.
mod for obviously my channel and other people's channels too. So she's always committed to you guys in different ways. So
Yes, I am committed to
Not dirt
everybody's
everywhere.
shenanigans. I'm the lurker in the background.
right.
Yes.
Just like Philip is your lurker in the background.
Very fair. Very fair.
Okay, so we're circled back around. We've done all the intros.
Yeah.
I forgot to intro that I play Rylar, the main NPC, and then all the other NPCs and monsters. So,
And Philip.
and Philip, right? Well, soon
is
to be.
now Philip.
Yeah, soon I will be the one. From now going forward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, having said that, we've done the recap. The one other part of the recap that we forgot, though, that was kind of the mic drop moment from last week, was, despite the epic battle where you guys, basically outplayed, you fifth level, you high-brained fifth level chest that beholder to death. Well,
Are we gonna do what stood out to everybody?
we're going to do that in a second after the recap. The
I'd
rest
like
of the
to go
recap,
first.
don't forget, was that right after the battle, all the party members were terrified because Rylar suddenly looked like he was about to target Philip. But it turned out that Rylar's weird alternate persona identified Philip as some sort of non-threatening, non-lethal prototype. And so he powered down and fell asleep. So there you go. That is the recap from last week, guys. And I think it's wonderful. So now we're going to go ahead and roll the randoms to see what everyone remembered most about last week themselves, their individual characters. Here we go. Starting off with Fern.
You guys, it was like the craziest thing. Cause it like this crazy thing with crazy eyeballs all over it, who like spoke a really crazy language and everything. Like we couldn't like shoot magic directly at his face or nothing. It was crazy. But then Miss Ray's like, no, and exploded it. It exploded everywhere. So that was cool.
Anything else to add?
There was a lot of reading afterwards, and it was really hard to stay focused after, like, watching this crazy alien thing explode.
You remind me,
But
yeah.
it was cool.
I forgot all about that. The other part of the recap of last week was that the journals of the Beholder, right? You guys figured out a lot of interesting things about him and how he had manipulated the Gloam Elf people into doing what they were doing with the High Elf Divine Visionary, and basically sucking her dry of her life force and turning it into some sort of corrupted essence. And yeah, and I did, by the way, post the text for that and the wall history up in Discord on the the Isles in the Mist channel in Discord. So if you guys want to reread that stuff for more lore dump, just make sure you grab some lore dump snacks to go with your lore dump. All right.
Lord of snacks.
All right, Lorkris.
What is happening? It's just existential crisis. We just came through. We just came through. We just heard me.
Wait, why does he think that?
Pop that thing. Because I cursed the Beholder.
Right.
And immediately after, that thing absolutely just disintegrated. He's like,
I sent it to Ouija.
You went to Ouija's. What is this place? Yeah. He's like, panic, happy, excited, panic. Yeah. That's Lorkris in a nutshell.
Right on. Miss Ray.
So externally last week, Emillynn was all like, oh my God, Philip, they can hear you. That's amazing. Internally, Emmelynn's going, oh my God, Philip, they can actually hear you and see you. Oh my God, this is a first in forever. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yes.
That was Emillynn. Internally and externally. So what stood out to her the most.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Philip exists.
Nice.
Philip is real.
So excited I've ever seen her, I know, right? For Rylar, what stood out to most, obviously he was unconscious for most of the fight, so all he remembers is when you guys did all, he found all the exploded bits of stuff and helped you guys clean up. He used his prestidigitation to help clean up the mess that you guys had while you guys were searching through the log books and journals and stuff, and searching out all the, basically you guys just did a top to bottom, gut everything, loot everything search of the entire lab to grab everything that you could find of value. And then you spent a ton of time, reading it and figuring stuff out, which is how you were able to put that kind of lore dump together.
Oh yes.
And so during that time he was cleaning and stuff. What stood out to him the most though was finding out that this guy, this mean monster, somehow or another is a heretic, and now he's finally feeling like he's being useful to Goo. And he thinks it's weird that Philip is similar to the heretics, but inside he's confident that it's not a heretic, and so and he's glad because he doesn't know what would have happened if he thought that it was, because apparently he didn't have any control over himself. He doesn't remember any of it. And so he's terrified. He's happy. He's all super confused right now because he's happy about being useful to Goo. He's terrified of himself right now. So he might be a little bit more subdued and quiet and kind of hang back a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how he how his emotions come out going forward. But yeah, it was kind of an emotionally impactful experience for him. So that is the recap of everybody, and that's awesome. So if there is anything anybody else needs to add that hopefully I haven't forgotten or anything. I think that
Chat, did we miss anything?
So I have a list of things that we'll be doing today for the actual. Can we put Philip away now? I just don't want to accidentally bump it.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Crom, hello Brett.
Philip. Thank you again, Banana Tom. Philip is amazing.
Yes, incredible.
Hello, Philip.
Incredible. All right. So, if there's no other stuff, let's jump right to it. Thank you guys for joining us this fantastic night. We're jumping into the action. Go and chat, Dark. Enjoy the show.
Oh yeah, we also leveled up.
Right. Well, but
we're getting ready to.
Yeah, like technically we already did the mechanics of that, but we're going to be doing. That's one of the many things I was going to talk about. So.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a long rest right now, so I can hit long rest, get all my stuff back.
Yeah, go ahead and do your long rest. That's fine. But technically speaking, I think what we were going to do is, well, here's the stuff that I have in the list. You guys can tell me what order you want to do them. Okay?
Dreams.
What I have is 1, dreams. 2, the magic items. 3, have Rylar do some sort of ritual to try and communicate with Goo. 4, chat with the dead elven avatar. And 5, make sure to get the nodule out of the elven avatar, since it supposedly has the properties necessary to pass through the bramble wall. Along with the magic items is all the treasure that you guys found too, which is inordinate, by the way. I didn't mention that last week, but yeah. And she has a what's
My suggestion was going to be, let's just make it down the list because that order sounds great.
Really? Okay. So yeah, I think it does, because keep in mind, I'll tell you this right off the bat. After looting through this is literally the lair of this beholder king, beholder manipulator, whatever it is, this beholder. You guys, amongst his treasure, find 15 magic items.
Whoa.
And a lot of treasure as well. And so if you ritually cast Identify on each of them, that'll take 150 minutes, which is, almost 3 hours. Yeah. So I figure what we'll do is you guys would probably just want to, after that experience, the emotions of it, the physicality of it, all of it, you guys would be exhausted, just kind of wiped, ready to rest after the cleanup and the search, right? Because that part was the other part that was exhausting. And so, we'll rest, and then the next day you'll work on magic items, and while Rylar can see if he can do his ritual to communicate with Goo, and then he can go talk to the dead. What was that?
I was going to say, in terms of order of operations, I think removing the shard, I think we should at least roleplay a discussion of whether removing the shard first before talking to her is going to be a good idea or a bad idea.
Right. Well, you'll get to that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's just that part we would do once you would go out of this space, right? Since you chose to rest inside this
pocket dimension.
Pocket dimension. And so I figure once you did everything you were going to do in this pocket dimension room and then leave, that's when you would go down and decide, like you said, how you want to handle the nodule, what order, and what order you want to speak to her and stuff. Absolutely. Let's role play that. But I would guess your characters would kind of just table it for the next day and decide by then what you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Wasn't funny.
Here we
But
go.
it's not funny.
See here.
It's just humorous.
Where be it?
I'm excited about the dreams.
All right. So it's kind of, I promise you I rolled this way. It was pure random chance, but literally the order of the dreams happens to be the order that you guys did your little intro thing today.
Oh.
So.
Well, if you're starting with Druid, I'm going to take this time to use the restroom. Coffee went through me.
Okay. Well, we'll take this as a quick chat break with you guys. Here we go. And actually, we'll go into this scene. We'll do it from here. That way, the dreams are a little more intimate. My goodness. So,
I planted watermelons today.
no way, really? Like
So
you
we'll
bought
see
some
how it
watermelons and you
works.
just like dug a hole and stuck them in the ground?
100%. 100%. There's actually like a section in the backyard now. It looks like we buried a body. And I'm just like,
I was kidding, right? Like you just take the seeds, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's actually, there's seeds from one of my friends that like actually like harvest seeds from other plants to like replant them the next year, which I just think is so cool. I don't know.
That is amazing.
Love her.
That is fantastic. I love that you do that.
Dreams.
All right. So, Fern.
Druid's ready.
Fern, this night is another one of those nights. Instead of meditation, you are somehow forced to fall asleep. Your body just succumbs to exhaustion that goes beyond the capabilities of elven meditation. And you dream deep. In this dream, Fern finds herself back at the Misty City docks on a starry, clear night. The air is warm, but a cool sea breeze gently caresses her skin as the sound of the waves soothes the soul. Fern is carrying a heavy bag over her shoulder as she walks alone out onto the docks, moving toward a familiar ship. It's the ship that brought her to this island so many moons ago. It's strange, but Fern is not disturbed by the fact that there's no one around on the docks or the ships. She soon finds herself standing before the ship and briefly boards it. Fern sets the bag she was carrying down on the deck and then moves to the crank that lowers and raises the anchor. She speaks a silent word of magic to the crank, and it mysteriously raises the anchor all on its own. After it is completely raised, she steps back off the ship and walks over to the rope that ties the ship to the docks. She touches the rope and again speaks a silent magical word, which causes the rope to fray apart and slump to the wooden dock with a thump. She reaches out and spends several minutes struggling to push on the ship to get it to move. She feels tempted to use magic once again to facilitate its movement, but inside she knows this is her moment, that she must accomplish this under her own physical power. After several more minutes of struggling, her willpower and resolve are at the breaking point, but she does not give up, and finally the ship floats free from its mooring. As she steps back, catching her breath, she watches the ship with its mysterious cargo slowly drift out to sea. For a brief moment, she can see a ghostly female spirit floating on the deck of the ship. The spirit looks racked with anguish on its face, but that anguished face slowly changes to one of serenity. A sense of peace and tranquility washes over Fern, and she wakes up with a new feeling of resolve, confidence, and certainty.
Sounds like a lot to unpack.
It was a heavy backpack.
You beat me to it.
That was, damn you guys. That was a great pun though. I got to give you both props. Her for whipping it out and you for thinking of it. All right.
So
You guys ready for the next one?
Yes.
No.
All right. Lorkris, when he falls asleep that night, he thinks he's going to have a hard time sleeping, but because these things are racing through his mind. But for some reason, the physical exhaustion, emotional exhaustion just overcome him until he succumbs to a deep sleep. Lorkris experiences 2 recurring dreams in one, but with subtle differences. His first dream starts out with him flying over a vast green ocean toward a vibrant sunset. As the sun fades down behind the horizon and the bright green sea turns black, the scene changes. Soon, Lorkris finds himself in the second recurring dream. He once again finds himself walking through the halls of a dungeon with strange undead people and glowing blue eyes reaching out to him, begging him to free them. This time, at the end of the hall, he walks through the doorway, which is now unlocked, but instead finds himself trapped in a dungeon cell looking out through iron bars at a torch-lit perpendicular hallway. And the door he entered is now nothing but a blank wall. He hears the sound of footsteps approaching, along with a familiar female voice humming a haunting melody. The beautiful raven-haired woman stops before him. She tauntingly asks, "How can you free them until you free yourself?" He feels challenged and compelled to try and bend the bars of the cell with his bare hands. He struggles with this for a few moments and barely makes any progress with the bars. As he wants to take a moment to rest in disgust, the woman pulls out a small file and starts filing her nails. She looks at him with a disappointed gaze. This irritates him immensely, and as the anger wells up inside of him, he commits himself fully to the task of warping these damnable bars to his very will. Although his hands and arms scream in agony, within moments the bars start to bend and contort to the incredible power he exerts upon them deep from within his very soul. He steps out of the bars exhausted and looks at the goddess with satisfaction. She casually shrugs and says, "Not bad. There's still more potential in you yet. Will you prove worthy to the task still yet to come? We shall see." Just as the dream fades right before Lorkris wakes up, he thinks he sees the raven-haired woman give him a wink. Was that pride he could see in her eyes?
Well, at least she didn't go,
At least didn't what?
She didn't go,
It's true.
Not this time.
All
It
right,
was silent.
this one's going to
She
be...
flirting.
I don't know if it was necessarily that, but yeah. All right. So, all right, you guys, are you ready for this one now, Ray?
Yes.
All right,
My
Ray's
turn?
dream. It's going to be your turn. All right. Ray, Emillynn Ray feels relief. She feels freaked out, not understanding what's going on, but relief that Rylar is not a threat to Philip. And that apparently Philip is not a threat to him. But she's still super confused about what the hell's going on. How is Philip related, like literally physically somehow, or like he's basically a little mini baby version of that monster that they just fought that has been manipulating the Glomel people for 15,000 years. How can this possibly be? This makes zero sense to her. It's blown her mind. Blown her mind so much that she falls into a deep, restful sleep, like super deep. And in her dream, Ray dreams she is back in the cave she fell into as a small child. She is her small self again. She is alone and terrified, stumbling through the darkness as her 8-year-old half-elven eyes have not yet fully developed her dark vision. Somewhere in front of her, she thinks she sees the pitch black is broken by a slight greenish light. As she moves towards it, she realizes that a strange glowing fungi on the walls is the only thing that gives her any light in the gloom of an ancient dark tomb. As she follows the fungi growing along the walls, she begins humming to herself to calm her spirit and chase away her fear. She soon finds herself in front of a stone archway with strange, illegible sigils along the edges. She notices the pitch blackness beyond the door, realizing that the fungi does not continue any further. Hoping to find a way out of her imprisonment, she intensifies her humming to bolster her confidence as she enters the dark chamber, crawling on her hands and knees. After a few moments, her young eyes adjust to the darkness even further, as a small scattering of light from the fungi in the hall gives her just enough vision to make out a raised, round dais at the end of the chamber. On the dais, she can make out two things. One seems to be a clump of clothes lying near the edge of the dais, and the other is a strange, ornate box in its center, about the same shape and size as a lantern. She upgrades her humming to quietly singing one of her favorite songs as she stands up and approaches the dais. When she gets closer, she is shocked when she realizes that the clump of clothes is actually a skeleton of some long-dead person in strange robes. She could feel her heart beat faster, so she starts humming even louder. She can make out strange markings like a giant pentagram scrawled onto the floor of the dais. And she can also see that the small metal box has grating with several open slits. Her own singing has boosted her confidence, so she lets curiosity get the better of her to investigate the rectangular metal box. She reasons that if it's some strange lantern, maybe she can figure it out a way to light it. When she gets closer to it, a tiny little purple appendage with an eyeball on the end pops out of one of the slits. She falls back on her butt, letting out a yelp, and immediately stops singing, paralyzed with fear. Soon a tiny little childlike voice with a lisp emanates from the metal box, begging, "Why'd you stop singing? You should keep singing now. It's wonderful, and I'm afraid if I don't hear it, I might fall back asleep forever." And so now she realizes that this dream is literally her actual memory in a dream sequence occurring in real time. And we're going to do a role play right now of the conversation between her and Philip.
First time meeting Philip.
You see why I was like, so share with them what happened earlier today before we got started with D&D.
So Stormy had asked me, he's like, how old were you? How old was your character when you met Philip? And I was like, he was definitely a child, probably around like 7, 8. And like, after he asked me that, I was like role playing out in my head. It's like, oh yeah, the first time Emillynn met Philip and like the conversation that they had. And I was trying to tell him about it. He goes, no, wait.
Yeah.
This is why.
So it's freaky because I had written this out before we had that conversation. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah. And so now.
Okay, so I've fallen back on my butt. I'm scared as ever. And this little purple thing with the lisp is like, keep singing.
Yeah.
What are you? Who are you?
Me? I'm a fragment of the polyphiloponic percepitude.
So what?
I'm a fragment of the polyphiloponic percepitude.
Is that your name?
Well, I guess so.
One more time?
I'm a fragment of the polyphiloponic percepitude. You're not very bright, are you?
I'm really scared right now, but can I call you Philip instead?
Yeah, I guess so. You gonna give me a name and it's called Philip?
That's a lot easier for me to pronounce and remember. I'm still scared right now. What are you?
Why are you scared? You should be singing. You don't have to be scared. Actually, I'm the one who should be scared. I'm locked in this box. But, you know, your singing makes me less scared.
I'm in a place I don't know, so I'm scared too.
Well, I'm in a place where I don't know, so I'm scared too.
Do you want to be friends?
Maybe we can help each other. If you can let me out, maybe we can figure out how to get out of this scary place.
Okay. I'm gonna get up and approach you. Is that okay?
Stop asking me if it's okay. I said that it's okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. I get up and I make my way over to the dais.
Well, you're on the dais.
Oh, I'm on the
You're at
dais.
the edge of the dais.
Okay.
That's how you saw everything. You're basically kind of in the center of it. You were reaching out to it. So.
All right. Like, okay. So I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out this box. I'm looking at it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me whatever 5th Ed's version would be. Like was it investigate?
Do I get to use my actual?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops.
That one wanted to bounce. Did you roll a nat 20?
I rolled a nat 20
All right.
on the second die. So that's a 33.
33.
Yeah.
33.
So after investigating the little metal box, while you're investigating it, you're a little freaked out because every once in a while, on different sides of this little box, it's basically the size of a lantern, right? Every once in a while, a little purple eyeball will pop out, and it's like looking around, and occasionally he'll go, "No, I don't think it's there. No, look over that way. Yeah, maybe it's up that way. Oh, okay." And you eventually find what looks like kind of an indention that's engraved in such a way that that you think something is supposed to fit into it, and that once the thing is fit into it, that you can twist it and you think it'll unlock it, and you'll be able to pop the top off.
Okay. I explained that to Philip. And do you know what little thing's supposed to go in here? Can your eyeball see that?
I can't reset that far because the grade is kind of thin. I can't see what you're talking about.
Okay. I'm gonna look around. You sure you're not gonna hurt me if I let you out?
If you promise to keep singing to me, of course not. Besides, I don't think I could hurt you if I wanted to. I don't really want to. I don't think that's a good idea. Because, we're like supposed to be friends and stuff, because you can sing to me and I can help you get out of this scary place.
Okay. I'm still scared though, but okay. I'm gonna look around the room and see if I can find whatever fits into that, based on my very limited vision.
Yeah, well, you find, interestingly enough, that your vision is starting to adjust. It's almost as if, like a muscle that hasn't been worked, right? You're developing it on the fly because you've just never been in such a pitch black darkness before to awaken your half-elven dark vision. Mm-hmm. And so it's starting to slowly awaken. The more you look around the room and get used to the lighting and everything, you now notice that off to one side of the room, you see kind of a dark shadowed archway. It looks like another way out, but it's actually got a door. And you can't make out the door from here because you can't make out details, but you don't think it's pitch black like it's open. You think there's something blocking the arch. So there's two arches, one the one you came into and one up to that direction, to the left of the other door. And looking at it around, there's literally nothing in this chamber except the dais, the little metal box, and the skeleton, the robed skeleton lying on the edge of the dais.
Okay. Philip, I'm gonna have to leave you for a little bit because I'm not finding anything in this room, but there's another room that I'm gonna go look at. Okay, I'll be right back.
He says, "Oh, but if you go away, don't go away. If you could, please sing some more. I don't want to fall asleep again."
Yes, I will sing. Singing helps me too.
Okay, so
I start singing as I start to make my way into the pitch dark black room.
No, like I said, it's not a room.
Oh,
it's a closed door.
Oh, it's a closed door. Okay.
Yeah. You go over to the door. It's a It's a stone door, or excuse me, it's a metal door, and you can't quite figure out the mechanism to open it. The archway has strange sigils and symbols and writing on it that you don't recognize.
Philip, can you see this writing? I can't understand it.
It's kind of far away from here to me. I can't see what you're talking about. I mean, I can sort of see an outline over there, but...
I walk over and I try and see if I can pick up what this thing that Philip's in.
No, it seems to be like attached to the center of the dais, with this pentagram around it. Hey, it probably would be pretty smart if you check everything that's in the room. Duh.
I guess that's a good idea. Do you know who this person was?
No idea.
Okay, I'm gonna search their body. I feel bad.
Okay, so you go over and search through the clothes of the skeleton.
Yes.
You find a burned wand, and in his pocket, you also find a strange kind of metal object device, kind of like it's just a strange. Looks like a plug of some kind. It's a strange shaped device, and you look at it from different angles, and you realize that on one end of it has this shape, this octagonal shape that's similar to the indention on the lantern. The lantern.
Emillynn gets excited, going, Philip, I think I found it. I think I found it. Maybe. Let's try it. Okay.
Oh, really? You're gonna let me out now?
I'm gonna try.
That sounds cool. Then I can see more, and then maybe we can figure out the writing, and we can get out of here if you wants to. As long as you keep singing to me and stuff, and listen to what I have to say. I suppose.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not feeling as scared anymore now that I have somebody to talk to. So, let's do this.
All right. I like your can-do attitude. You keep that up. All right. So you go over, and sure enough, the little plug plugs in, and you twist it, pops the top open. You get a little scared again because this little eyeball with a bunch of little eyeball stalks on it pops up in his mouth, and his tongue's hanging out. He's like, "Whoa, this place is freaky. Look at you. You're a pretty little girl, aren't you?"
What are you?
I told you I'm a fragment of the polyphiloponic percepitude. But you called me Philip. That's my name now. I'm a Philip.
Okay. You look like nothing I've ever seen before.
Well, that's okay. I've never heard singing like yours before, and it's wonderful.
Start to reach out, try and touch him.
He's like, "What's he doing?"
I was just making sure that you're real.
Oh, really? Okay. So he kind of floats a little closer to you, and you give him a little poke, and he goes, "That tickled."
You are real. Whoa.
Hey, I got an it on my back here. Would you kind of grab that for me?
Sure.
Oh.
And I'm like counting how many eyes he has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. That's a lot of eyes. Why do you have so many eyes?
Well, why do you only have 2 eyes? What a dumb question.
Because that's how I was born.
Well, duh, that's the same thing, I guess, for me, I suppose.
Oh, I guess you're right. That makes sense. You're smart, you know that?
Well, I bet you're smart too. You haven't figured it out yet.
Well, I mean, I am only 8. So
8.
As my mom says, I got lots of learning to do.
You're 8 what?
I'm 8 years old. How old are you?
I have no idea. I just woke up when I heard your singing a little while ago.
You mean you don't know how long you've been trapped in this thing?
Nope. I've been asleep.
And you don't know who this is?
Nope.
You're still really interesting. I can't wait to show you off to everybody else. Unless we have to part ways after here.
Well, I sure hope not, because I want to keep listening to your singing. It's beautiful. You know, you're kind of a wonderful person, I bet you. I think we're going to be bestest friends ever. And he comes over and he's like, can I snuggle on you?
Sure.
He comes over and he snuggles on you. All right, let's figure out how to get out of here.
Okay, let's do this.
And then you wake up.
Philip's right in my face.
You shit.
Oh.
The way that you said, "Who's this?" just got me. I don't know why. It's just
I was trying to channel my inner 8-year-old.
So good.
Did you like that surprise, sweetheart?
Yes.
You got to role play with Philip.
What is?
I was, like I said, it's crazy hilarious that I had worked that out and imagined that and intended that, and then you were literally already in the mindset of it earlier. All right, so all right.
I was trying to play an 8-year-old.
You guys did good. You did good. All right. So the morning comes. Like I said, you've all woken up now. You all wake up and start getting around from breakfast and thinking about the dream you had, and you feel the weight of the responsibility of what comes next, but you also feel the secure comfort of confidence that everything that you've weathered up till now must mean that you have the capacity to succeed going forward. You just have to find it within yourselves.
You guys, we are so cool. You know that. I just had the greatest dream to tell me that. We are just. I love you guys.
Fern, you feel something wiggling in your backpack. So, what do you do?
Druid, you're so excited that you're cutting out.
Well, don't get too crazy excited, because when you go rummaging around in your backpack, you find that the cocoon is still intact, but it's starting to get thinner and weaker, and there is definitely physical movement inside of it. And you know, in your heart, your character knows and senses that the gestation period of whatever Chonkapillar is transforming into is nearly over. And he's at that stage where he has to now push himself out of the cocoon. And you know that you can help him and encourage him. You can't force it though, right? You know that it would weaken him to try and pull him out of it. But that doesn't mean that you can't, give him verbal encouragement and poke and prod occasionally and pet, and all of those kinds of things. And so
guidance. Give him guidance.
Chonkapillar!
Yeah. So you get the sense that it might take some time. You're not sure how long. Probably a few days of gentle prodding, and you're pretty sure that you'll be able to help pull him out of there.
Chonkapillar, you can do it, okay? You are so strong and wonderful. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be the fastest getting out of the cocoon kind of caterpillar ever.
So Chonkapillar is just wiggle, wiggle,
Stretch.
wiggle.
Just that rush of joy that literally just erupted out of me was just, I can't.
I can't.
It's very apparent from your facial reactions and your body reactions.
I mean, I just, you know, whenever Drew gets too excited, I have to be mindful about spatial awareness because I could get hit real easy. Not intentionally. I don't think.
I'm glad you guys are happy. All right. So, the copy ran through me quickly, but I can wait. I can hold out. So we're, what we'll do now is we'll do a quick assessment of the treasure. We'll do that real quick that you find. Again, it's not just laying about. This isn't a dragon hoard. He actually has his stuff stashed and organized in different places and stuff. So you get the sense that some of the stuff that he has in here was looted over a long period of time, maybe not even from this world or something. Some of it is just probably stuff that he confiscated from people here, or from the Gloam Elves, who knows. But for the treasure itself, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the non-magical treasure. First off, there are, and I'm gonna who has appraise? What did we decide was appraise?
Investigation.
Yeah. Who has the best investigation? You do? Okay. So what is your investigation? If
Plus 13.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna have you roll. I'll just tell you the relative value of each of these items. You find 4 rare metal ores, little chunks of some sort of rare metal ore. And you estimate that it's some sort of, it's just a mixture of rare metal ores that could be used for all kinds of different purposes. And you would guess that the total value of those 4 rare metal ores is about 10,000 gold.
Jeez.
Oh, we're only just getting started. You find 5 fancy jewels that you estimate to be worth about 5,000 gold. You find 100, and again, this isn't just lying about. It might be in pouches and little chests and boxes and stuff. You find 100 assorted uncommon gems that would be worth about 5,000 gold.
5,000 gold?
Yep. You find 10 assorted rare gems that would be worth 10,000 gold.
Okay.
And then
Wait,
finally,
say that. Wait. You
10 assorted rare gems equal to 10,000.
yeah. And then finally, you find 20 platinum bars that are worth 20,000 gold pieces. All in total, it should add up to 50,000 gold pieces in value. So, the magical treasure. You guys, so, hang on, where was it? You guys talk to Rylar, and you have him. He's going to basically do his meditation ritual with his book, and with a focus on trying to communicate directly with Goo. And he said he doesn't. He's never been able to do that before, but he just kind of feels like maybe because of this weird transformation that you guys were talking about with him, that maybe it might work this time, and he's hopeful that it does. He feels more confident. Like I said, he feels useful to Goo now, and so he believes in himself a little bit more. And so but it's going to take him. It's going to take him several hours to do his ritual too. I'll just say it's 3 hours, so it's roughly the same amount of time. You'll actually be done with your magic stuff before he will. And rather than just go in and tell you the items, I'm just going to tell you the already identified items to simplify it. Okay.
Okay.
The first most interesting thing, you find a little box. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be that little. it would be, yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like a little chest, a fancy, ornate little chest. Even the chest itself could be worth something, but at any rate, inside of it, it's velvet lined, and there are 5 magical stones. They're all different than each other. They're pretty interesting. One of them is something that you've heard legends of that actually does exist from the mainland. It's something called a luck stone. Basically, the person who carries this on them has a +1 luck bonus to their saving throws and skill checks. And it actually stacks with other, like Ring of Protection or something, because it's a different kind of bonus than those are. Okay. The other, so I said that there are 5 stones. I actually misspoke. There are 6 stones, but there's technically 5 sets of stones. What I mean by that is one of the stones is 2 stones that kind of somehow magnetize to each other. And when you separate them, you figure out, again using your identify spell, that they have a unique property is something that the MGA has been working on as a technology that has not been developed, but they are basically sending stones. So for those who don't know, a sending stone is basically like a magical walkie-talkie. One person can have the one sending stone, and the other person has the other sending stone. And I think someone will have to double check the distance, but I think they just have to be on the same plane of existence. Same plane of existence, yeah, to be able to talk. So, but it's only for a short period of time. It's like casting the sending spell, and so it's really limited.
Yeah, and 25 words.
Yeah, it can be used once per day. So, and now, so that's the luck stone and the sending stone, right? Mm-hmm. There are 3 unique looking stones that at first you had no idea what these are, but they definitely were magical when you cast detect magic to figure out these magic items. But after identifying them, you know, the magic of your identify spell is able to figure out the magic. These are items that also are not something you've ever heard of or seen that exist from the mainland. They the only thing you can give them, the name you can give them, is their enchantment stones. And what they're literally designed to do is to you basically take this stone, and they have specific things that they can do. And once you actually have to attune it to a weapon that you are already attuned to. So you basically, if you have a weapon, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I said weapon, an item. I should say item, because 2 of these stones are for a weapon, 1 of them is for armor. And basically, if you are attuned to a weapon or armor, and you take the stone and you attune to the stone, it will attune to the item that you have, use up the magic in the stone, and it basically enhances the weapon or armor. One of them is a simple +1, and it only work on an already enchanted magical item. And so basically, if, let's say for example, you have an item that's +1 magical, if you use one of these is the enchantment stone weapon enhancement, it would basically give an additional +1 magical +1 to hit and damage, you know, upgrading it from a +1 to a +2 weapon. Even if it has other abilities, it will still do this. But one of the enchant stones actually is an item that when you infuse to a weapon, when you attune to the weapon with it, it adds a damage modifier to that weapon and alters it slightly. And this one, the enchant stone weapon, is called Acid Infusion. So basically what that means is if you attune it to a specific magical weapon, it will give that weapon the property of doing an additional 1d6 damage of acid damage whenever it strikes. It will also make the blade have runes on it that it didn't have before that glow a greenish color.
Ooh.
And
Greenish color, you say?
Yep. And the enchant stone, the other enchant stone is basically another +1 enhancement, but it's for an armor. So those are all of the interesting stones that you found in that little chest. You also found a magical book, a tome actually. And this tome is basically a tome of leadership and influence. Ooh. What it basically does is you can spend 48 hours studying it, and the magic in it will be used up, and you will then have a +2 to your charisma. Next is you find a magical quiver. The quiver identifies as a quiver of the Gloam elite, but effectively, if you look up the quiver of Alona, that's what it does. So for those who don't know, I know StarkItty knows, a quiver of Alona is a quiver that's kind of like a bag of holding or a Heward's handy haversack, but it can only hold like arrows and spears and javelins, and it can actually hold your bow too. You don't actually have to even carry your bow. You can magically put it in the quiver, your bow and the arrows, and then when you want to, as a free action, immediately draw it and put it back, so forth. Next, there are 2 potions. One is a potion of vitality, which is a rare, it's either a rare or very rare potion. And there's an elixir of health, which is also either a rare or very rare potion. Next, you find a staff of the adder. It's basically a wooden staff, like some sort of druidic druid or priest would have, that can turn into an adder, a type of viper, a snake.
Snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
Then you also find a set of gloves of storing. And for those who don't know, gloves of storing are kind of like her magical lute that stores her violin. My apologies. Her violin that stores her other items into it and then transforms. The gloves of storing, as long as you're wearing both of them, it will store one item within them and allow you to instantly, as a free action, swap between what you have in your hand and what's stored in the glove. So, for example, let's say Druid has her Staff of the Woodlands. If you wanted to also have the Staff of the Adder, you could have it in the gloves and swap between the two if you felt like it.
Would come out of my gloves as a snake?
No, you actually have to get the staff out and then activate the staff first. Sorry.
The staff has a command word.
Got him.
But if you practice with it fast enough, it would almost look like that. You shoot the staff out at somebody and then do the command and change it instantly. You could probably,
Booger butt.
Yeah.
So you're telling me she could be like Jafar from Paladin?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You find a really gorgeous, ornate bow that turns out to be a very rare item called an oath bow. It's not really something any of your characters would probably use, but then again, who knows? I don't know. It's whatever you guys want to do. I'll let you guys look up. I mean, an oath bow is a very powerful elven style bow. What happens is when you're using the oath bow, you can magically imprint a certain enemy as your favorite enemy, and then the bow will do an additional 3d6 damage to that person, I believe, every time you hit with it. But it does have a negative, and that's that if the person that you have named as your favorite enemy still lives, then you can't, if you switch to using something other than the oath bow, you have a disadvantage with whatever that weapon is you switch to. told you about the. Oh, you also find boots of Elvenkind and a cloak of Elvenkind, which you guys know are the, the boots in the cloak that lets you, boost your stealth rating.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, actually, the kind of most potent magical item on this list is a legendary item called the Iron Flask. And it makes sense that it would be in this guy's lair. You think, but you're not. Your characters are not sure if it's something. You might have. You would think about whether it's something that you want to use. It's totally up to you guys. I gotta find. There we go. Browser. I'll tell you about it here in just a second. Iron Flask. All right. This iron bottle has a brass stopper. You can use an action to speak the flask's command word, targeting a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. If the target is a native to a plane of existence other than the one you're on, the target must succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw or be trapped in the flask. If the target has been trapped by the flask before, it has advantage on the saving throw. Once trapped, a creature remains in the flask until released. The flask can hold only one creature at a time. The creature trapped in the flask doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink, and doesn't age. You can use an action to remove the flask's stopper and release the creature the flask contains. The creature is friendly to you and your companions for 1 hour and obeys your commands for that duration. If you give no commands or give it a command that is likely to result in its death, it defends itself but otherwise takes no actions. At the end of the duration, the creature acts in accordance with its normal disposition and alignment. An identify spell reveals that a creature is already inside the flask, but the only way to determine the type of creature is to open the flask. A newly discovered bottle might already contain, this one already does contain a creature. The only way to determine what kind of creature it is would be to open it.
Guys, there's something in here.
Want to open it, but I don't want to open it. I'm very curious what kind of creature could be in there. What if it's like my great grandma or something?
And Rylar says, but what if it's the demon?
But wouldn't it be nice to us for like an hour? Do we have to like attune to the magical item for it to think that?
Yes. It doesn't say that in the description, but I'm going to DM rule that you have to attune to it.
I mean, I would love to have a new friend if you guys are okay
Like
with
looking
that.
at the flask, I can't tell what's in it.
No, there's no way to determine what it is until you open it, and you're not sure that...
I have attunement. Druid talking.
I don't think it's wise to open the bottle.
We are done now with all of this super cool stuff.
Yep, that's the items. Then you guys can decide how you want to use them. Who gets what?
100%. I'm just going to say right now that Miss Ray needs to read that book.
Oh, I was planning on reading the book.
And our friends from Steel Dawn. The guy that has the bow.
I don't think any of them had a bow. They were melee.
No, he had the sword. You're right. Never mind. Who am I thinking of?
I think you're thinking of somebody, one of the folks from, was it Crystal Hedge?
Yeah, Fulcrum was a ranger.
Yep.
Well, you could do that, or I think she was thinking of, what was the other team? The one
Loam Riders?
Yeah, Loam Riders. Yeah, I think she was thinking of one of the guys from Loam Riders. But you're right, Fulcrum is a ranger, so.
Oh, we can totally give that to Fulcrum. It's ours, right? We can give it away to whoever we want.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. That's if we make it back.
Oh no, we are, because we're super cool. I pushed the boat out of a dock all by myself, okay? I could have used magic, but I didn't.
Fern, what are you talking about?
Oh, my dream last night.
Oh, you actually fell asleep instead of meditated?
That's why
Doesn't
I'm
happen very
extra tearful today.
You okay, Lorkris? Did you have a dream too?
Yeah. I did.
You don't seem too thrilled about your dream.
I don't know if she's taunting me or encouraging me.
Probably both.
Did
That's
we just
true.
visit you?
Yeah. She confuses me. Lorkris just doesn't pick up on the social cues at all.
You know, from what I understand, people like to say that a lot of women are very...
This is true.
Are very what?
Very
Women are very
confusing.
confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure if you just ask her out for dinner, she'll be happy.
Doubtful.
Fern's not wrong. I mean, I
don't like her
slept
like
really
that.
well last night too, but
Did you have a
Did you
dream
dream
too,
about
Miss
anything?
Ray?
I don't know if it was necessarily a dream, but I had a memory of how I met Philip,
You
or
did.
how I found Philip.
I remember that very distinctly. You was a little girl and you was caught in that cave and you was singing and stuff.
Yeah, I was so scared.
Well, yeah, I could, back then you was easily scared, but
Well, I was 8.
you got much braver.
I did, because of you, Philip.
Oh, stop buttering me up.
Did you have a dream last night? Do you dream?
Huh? No, I don't think I don't think I dream. I don't think you want me to dream. I don't think I want to dream. Mm-mm.
I don't think I've
Why
ever seen
not?
Philip sleep.
Nope. You did when you first met me. I was sleeping in that cave until your singing woke me up.
This is true. This is true. I
You
did
gotta
find you in
remember
that
these things.
container thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so long ago, okay?
Well, yeah, but you figured out how to open it up.
I did. I had to search a dead body, though.
Oh, poor baby.
Come on, Philip. That was 20 years ago.
Mm.
A lot has happened since then.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good, I think.
Philip's my biggest critic when it comes to everything I do.
Yeah, but she's really amazing. Like, no one's better than her at singing and playing. No one.
We know that.
That's one of the reasons I like you. He points at you with one of his little eye stalks. Because you always one of her biggest fans.
People thought it was too much when I wrote across the sky that, Miss Ray is the best, but, it wasn't a lie.
You're a pretty cool chick, but I really like Lorkris. He's fun to watch. I really admire him. He's strong and powerful and stuff.
What? Lorkris was not daydreaming, but he was thinking intensely.
But
Are his eyes extra green?
I mean, they're at the same green glowing level that they have been. They've kind of. You do notice his face seems a little more gaunt, though. Pale.
You need to eat more food.
Yeah, you're looking a little pale there, Lorkris. Are you okay?
Here. Hold on. I'm going to cast Gunberry.
Lorkris like, it's just the lighting of this place. I don't know what you're talking about.
Little berries pop up. They look like they could be poisonous, but they're not. Eat one. No, you need to eat part. What is extra tasty right here? Eat it. Eat it.
So, Rylar asks, so we have all these items. What's we gonna do with them?
Oh, items, yes. I pick up the flask again and I'm just like, Philip, what do you think is in it?
I think Thurton Doom. You better put that away and forget about it.
Oh, really? Is it that bad?
I think so, probably.
There's no writing on it or anything like that?
Well, you figured it out with your spell. You know what it does.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't tell me what's in it. There's something in it.
Well, you know what they say about curiosity in cats.
Hey, my curiosity found you.
Well, okay. You got me there.
Now, Philip.
Yeah.
I can now sass you. I can sass you and you can hear me. Or I can hear your response.
I like this one. She's gonna be fun to play with. It'll be easy. Gonna be easy to poke her buttons, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
He said that the first time we met you, too.
It's true. But I am also really good at poking other people's buttons, too. So you better be careful if you want to start that with me.
I've seen that for sure. By the way, you said earlier, you know, yesterday after we fought that if you guys beat up on that thing, that beholder thing, you know.
Wait, what'd you call it?
I called it a beholder.
Is that what that was?
Is that what you are?
Mm.
Well, no, you know, you're the Philip. I still can't pronounce it to this day.
Yeah, I'm a fragment of the polyphiloponic precipitude.
Yes, that. But you look like that beholder?
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know why though. I don't know why I know what it's called either. I have no idea.
Yeah, I knew.
So
Philip
are you
was
like
smart.
a fragment of a larger beholder? So like if we squish a whole bunch of like little Philips together, it would make a giant Philip?
I can't answer your question because I don't know. If you keep asking it, it will just be the same answer.
Who knows? Maybe if I ask it in a weird enough way, it might jog some memory or something.
Well, I don't know. You ask things in pretty weird ways anyway, but that's one of the
That
cool.
is true.
That's one of the cool things about you. So you know, you stay you.
I don't know how to not. I could try. It would be really boring though. I could try to be Lorkris.
I like to watch Lorkris. I don't know. I want to be Lorkris too. I want to see how he's always like and bow and slash and he like explodes them, and it's just so cool the way he's always sticking stuff with his spear.
We need to make you a little glaive
Yeah,
so you can swing it and stuff.
I wish I could, but I don't got no hands. You can kind of see that, can't you? Right?
Yeah. But like we could like tie it to like one of your eyeball stalks or something.
I think that would hurt.
Or I'll think of something.
So Philip says to file this for later. Or should we just leave it here?
Rather to I don't think we should leave it.
I mean,
We
if
should
we,
definitely take it with us.
we take it back to the MGA, what's to stop them from opening it?
You know where we could put it? In my garden. Could bury it there.
Maybe.
Well, that doesn't, you know, Philip says, I mean, yeah, you could do that if you just want to get rid of it, but you never know when you might need it for something. You should probably
Yeah,
just...
but it would be in the garden.
No, I mean, like, you should keep it on you for your adventures and stuff.
Oh. Like as a last resort going, open it!
Maybe,
And
I don't
then
know.
we just... That's
Oh,
not
yeah. tell it what to do. Be a distraction, and we run.
Wow. This is why you are so smart. We love you, Philip.
Even though running's not really our style.
It depends on what we're fighting against. If we can't talk our way out of it, we can't fight our way out of it, distraction and run.
Yeah, I've suggested running on more than one occasion, and you guys were not listening to me at all, because she doesn't always listen to me. She's smart most of the time, but you know, you guys pulled it out anyway, so I guess I'm not right all the time. Much to my chagrin.
Much to my chagrin. That's such a good sentence. I always forget about it, though. Much to my chagrin.
Philip has always used these big words around me, which is why I'm the eloquent speaker that I am. And it's Philip's encouragement that made me pursue the bard.
Well, it's because of your music that I'm encouraging. Because it encourages me to, it inspires me to want to be like you and to encourage people the way you do. You always make me feel good with your music. It woke me up from my sleep, remember?
I remember.
I want to know more about that cave. That would be so cool to go try to investigate it now that we're like super smart and super strong and stuff.
Yeah,
But we have to, you know, go talk to a dead lady now.
Yeah, her village people tried to go back and find the cave where she got lost in, but they could never find it again. It was really super weird.
And then my village didn't like me when I'm like, Philip is right here. Can't you see him? He's right here.
Yeah, after a while they was mean to her, so I suggested that she just pretended that, you know, that I'm not here. That way she doesn't get in trouble and stuff, because they were being mean to her. Some people are assholes.
Yeah.
Do you know why it is they couldn't see you?
Why would I know that? I don't know why you guys can see and hear me now, other than, I mean, you saw that the beholder first. Maybe that had something to do with it.
I mean, these things, we've never seen anything like this before. I've never even heard legends or tales of these kinds of things.
Right. I mean, the knowledge I have is the knowledge of that you have, you know, other than, you know, I can help you, you know, figure stuff out, but, you know, technically you're older than I am as far as I'm concerned, because, you know, I was born in that cave when you found me, you know, from my point of view of when I woke up.
I mean, as far as I know, I've been trying to figure out for the longest time why I'm the only one that can see and hear him. It's always been a question in the back of my mind.
We always try to figure it out, but we got it figured out, at least for us anyways.
Rylar says, yeah, well, okay, so back to items. What are we gonna get? What you guys gonna, who's getting what? Sorry if I gotta be really careful about the two accents since they're somewhat similar.
Lorkris has the enchanted weapon. Who has enchanted armor?
Not that I'm attuned to.
Technically, right? Because if it's a +1, it's considered magical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
You have magical armor. Don't you also have magical armor? But you have +1 magical studded leather.
I do have +1 studded leather.
So,
but Fern doesn't technically wear armor. She's just wearing like
bracers of armor.
protective gear.
Yeah.
Braces of armor and a cloak of protection.
Right.
So we could give the weapon enhancements and the armor enhancement to Lorkris for his stuff.
So I guess I should have clarified that the you can't use one of these enchantment stones on a weapon that has already had an enchantment stone imbued into it.
Okay.
So if you use one of these on his weapon, you're going to have to pick which one you want more. Either the additional +1 or the additional 1d6 acid damage.
Could give you the acid damage, it'll match your eyes.
What were you saying, Lorkris?
No, I realized what you were saying. I was confused. I was like, do I have to pick between the polearm feat? Because I thought for a second what you were saying was that the glaive already had one of those stones, and you're just referencing the 2 weapon stones.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
no, these stones don't exist in the magical technology of the world that you came from. They're unique to these ancient Glomelf people. But it will work on your item, and it doesn't take away what your item already has. It only adds to it. But only one of these stones can be added to it.
Yeah, one per item.
Druid?
I wonder if we should try to keep like at least one of these super cool enchantment stone stuff to be able to give to our turtle friend to see if he could replicate it and stuff. And then we could get a portion of all of the money that he makes selling it.
You must have been learning some stuff from Jocko there.
Can I just see one of the stones?
Sure.
I don't really care which one. Lorkris is just looking at it, staring at the doorway that we came through, and just looking at the stone, staring at it, and just passively listening while you guys decide what you want to do with the item.
I pick up the staff of the adder and I look at Fern. Fern,
Yeah?
would you like a pet snake?
Yes! Wait, do you think it would eat Chonkapillar?
Yes.
How weird would that be to be like, my staff ate my magical caterpillar?
It would not eat your magical caterpillar. Fate.
So, does everybody agree if Fern gets the snake staff?
So how Rylar says, she's the only one who would want to use the staff, so of course. How's she going to use it?
How?
Well, she's already carrying the staff of the woodlands. You can't carry 2 staffs at the same time.
Well, there's gloves of storing. Fern can wear the gloves.
Handle wearing gloves.
Is she
I can try to wear...
Is she currently wearing gloves for anything?
I think the closest would be bracers of defense, but those aren't technically gloves.
No, they're not gloves.
Oh, no, I have the gloves of swimming and climbing on, but I don't need it.
I'm like, Fern, put the gloves on.
Yeah, so the gloves of storing would replace the gloves of swimming and climbing, which you could give to somebody else who is not wearing gloves.
Does anybody want these gloves of super cool magical swimming and or climbing?
So Lorkris doesn't need... That's funny that you've had those all this time, even though there was that one time where you had him help you climb. You didn't tell me that you had those. You could have just climbed up very easily.
She forgot.
I forgot that I had
I forgot
them.
she's had them too. Yeah, we've had those for a long time.
Yeah, we have. So who are you wearing gloves?
No, I am not. But I have my violin of storing.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't need the gloves.
No, not the gloves of storing.
Oh.
The gloves of swimming and climbing that
swimming
she's
and
giving
climbing?
up. Yeah.
Sure, I could use those.
What about Rylar?
Yeah, what about Rylar?
Out of curiosity, for like.
What about
being
me?
proficient.
Well, I think Rylar says I think you should use that acid infusion on your glaive.
Rylar, would you like some gloves of swimming and climbing?
Oh, you're asking me for me.
Yes.
I thought you were asking my opinion about what Lorkris should do. I don't need gloves of swimming and climbing.
Okay, I will take the gloves of swimming and climbing. Rylar, are you wearing a cloak?
Yes.
Can you find clothes to store?
What kind of boots are you wearing?
Boots of striding and springing. I forgot I was wearing those.
Lorkris, are you wearing any boots?
With the fur, with the fur.
That's the boots of the Winterland?
Hey. No.
Would you like these boots of elven kind?
What does Boots of Elvenkind do?
It gives you advantage on stealth.
Sure.
So, out of curiosity, you're wearing boots of the Winterlands?
No,
Oh.
making a joke.
Oh, okay. So if you don't have any magical boots, then you might as well take them.
Mm-hmm. Because I know Fern is not going to wear these boots.
No, my feet must be free. It's already kind of weird that I'm wearing gloves.
We're just going to have you some anklets made.
All right. So.
Or like toe rings or something.
That too. That's another good idea.
So what about the cloak of Elvenkind? The Rylar can't wear it because he's got the cloak of protection.
Same.
We all have cloaks of protection.
Yep. I do too.
Well, then I guess the cloak of Elvenkind you guys can turn over to. You can either try and sell or turn over to the guild, Mr. Zacco's Relic Hunters.
Yeah.
So.
All right, the luck stone. Lorkris, would you like this luck stone?
Shouldn't it go to the person with the weakest? This is Philip. I think that one should go to the person with the weakest saving throws, right?
Ooh, that is true. Out of character, what is everybody's saving throws at?
Pretty decent. I have strength is like +11, wisdom and charisma are currently +12s. Dex is 6, con 7, intelligence 5. I'm pretty good.
Strength +2, Dex +4, con +4, intelligence +9, wisdom +12, and charisma +2.
Rylar? What's Rylar's at?
I forgot that he's got a cloak of protection that actually boosts those, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me do the math on that real quick.
I'm just, hitting stupid buttons that I don't need to press. This was wrong.
For strength, he's got 1, dexterity 3, constitution 4, intelligence 1, wisdom 10, charisma 10.
I walk over to Rylar and I'm like, keep this stone close to you.
Why, does he have the worst? Oh, okay.
Like, keep this on you at all times, Rylar, please.
Can I be in charge of the sending stone? Please. Please.
Why would you like the sending stones, Fern?
Rylar asks, well, doesn't one other person need it for them to even be useful?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why can't she have one end of it?
That is a good idea. I pulled them apart. Here you go, Fern.
Yay.
And Philip pipes in and says, if you guys were really smart, you'd figure out how to get one end of it to Mr. Draco.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But we got to try and get past the woods.
So Rylar says, so I have something to share with you guys. Oh wait, what, Lorkris?
can you know how we can all talk to each other mentally because of you? Can we now do that with Philip?
Rylar says, I don't know, I can't seem to do it with Philip. And Philip says, what's wrong with you? Why can't you do it with me too then? And Rylar's like, oh, I don't know.
Maybe that's something Rylar can ask Goo when he does.
Well, speaking of that, I have to share, my ritual didn't quite work out.
Oh.
I mean, it sort of did and sort of didn't. So, as I was doing the, my ritual, it's a special ritual I do with my book and stuff. It's a meditative ritual, and it's never worked before. And so, I got bad news and good news. And the bad news is that I wasn't able to get a hold of Goo. The good news is I got a response, though, from, I don't know if it was Goo or if it was something else, but basically I started writing in my book, and in something with controlling my writing all by, I couldn't stop it, and it wrote this message in my book. I'll let you guys read it here. Well, you can't read it because it's in Quevquell.
Philip can read it.
Well, yeah, I'll read it to you. And,
okay.
And Philip says, oh, he said, it's in Quevquell, let me come read it. And so he's reading it over Rylar's shoulder. But only because he's sitting close to you. He doesn't. You notice he doesn't go very far from her, like not more than just a few feet. So in his book, the following is written. You guys ready? A little bit more, tiny little bit of lore dump here. Paying attention?
Ready.
Okay. What was written was, the bubble is fragile. Period.
The what?
Sorry. I'll just say full stop. I'll just say the sentences. I don't have to say the periods. No, it's all right. It was my fault. I did that. All right. First sentence is, the bubble is fragile. The causalic membrane must not be disrupted. The observer's presence actualized from within the framework would be catastrophic to the process. Find egress and attempt reconciliation of connection. The Twilight Imperium has spoken.
Wait, read that one more time.
Okay,
Rylar,
get ready to write it down. I'm gonna read it to you. Each sentence. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
Okay. So this time Philip reads it. It said, the bubble is fragile.
Mm-hmm.
The causalic membrane must not be disrupted. The observer's presence actualized from within the framework would be catastrophic to the process.
The observers.
I'll reread it. The observer's presence actualized from within the framework would be catastrophic to the process. Tell me when you're ready for the next. Find egress and attempt reconciliation of connection.
Repeat that one more time.
Find egress and attempt reconciliation of connection. Egress is EGRESS. And the final sentence is, tell me when you're ready. The Twilight Imperium has spoken. While you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to leave it on this cam though, since we're not necessarily in a break. Well, I guess we can put it.
Yeah, we could take a break. Grab some snacks.
I mean, I imagine we're about ready to shift over from this to like lore stuff. So,
The Twilight Imperium. Sounds like a video game.
I didn't even see that you raided in. It doesn't even show that you raided.
Oh, what? We got a raid?
did he get it right?
Yeah, he said, "Dang, you guys didn't pop up to raid."
Who?
Oh, never mind. I misread the sentence. Never mind. Dang, you guys didn't pop up to. I understand. I'm stupid. I can read. Okay, I'll be back. I'm taking a break.
Now I gotta see what she's talking about.
Boots with the Fern.
BRB.
Oh,
You
hey,
banana
goblins
chomp.
and warlocks.
She's been.
She's been ferning too long. It's Sherlock Gnomes or the Pink Panther. Thank you for the shout out, Banana Tom. And hello, Rusty Tonics, if you're still here. Oh, Schnoopity. Oh yes, Schnoopity, thank you for the follow earlier. You never told me you had gloves. Yeah, that's what happens when everybody writes down items and then forgets that they have them. There's a war going on? What war are you talking about, Banana Tom? Stormy, you forgot to press play on the music.
Oh no!
There we go. Oh. Let's check. Oh, Druid Ares War. Yes, that is true. Hello, Vegan Pesto. How are you? Oh, thank you. Welcome in, Nola Ghoul TV. Nola Ghoul TV, first time chatter. Yes, I'm a big fan of Tea Turtle, the website that has all sorts of fun t-shirts like this. Go check them out. Tea Turtle, T-E-E, Turtle, as in the actual turtle. No, that 100%. Yes. Life is Bard. I am currently playing a Bard in this campaign, so it's very fitting. But how is everybody? What do you guys think? Drop your... I'm enjoying the Bard so far. We're playing 5th edition, so yes. The college that I picked is a home brew that I found online, and it's been working out very well. I am the war bard of the party. It's been fun. And then my character has a, not really a familiar, but it's a best friend that looks like, let me pull up. This is my character's best friend that for the longest time only she could see and hear. Now the rest of the party can see and hear. Philip. Welcome back, goblets.
Alright guys, I'm gonna chat like this for a bit while I snack.
Baldur's Gate 3. How are you liking Baldur's Gate 3, Nola? And Nola, if you can find a group to play D&D with, highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Starkitty and I have been together for 18 years now, and we met playing Dungeons and Dragons. So we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 18 years. I have been a DM for Dungeons and Dragons since I first started in 1981 with the original BX set.
Yep, and I've been playing since 2005.
Oh, Rusty's here? Or was here? Cool.
It's just so short since the beta beat with every category of character the game has to offer. Oh, wow. I mean, Nola, if you could play a D&D class, what class would you want to play?
Ah, right on, Rusty. That's awesome, buddy. I don't know if you were here earlier when I got to do the dream sequences for them, but it was fun writing the dream sequences earlier today.
I know Roll20. You can play online with groups. Ooh, a mage, necro in MMOs, or a ranger. Interesting.
Cool.
Nice. I mean, you could definitely customize your wizard into a necromancer if you want to eventually become a lich. And then you can run around saying, "Necromance if I want to. I can bring your friends to life."
Thank you, Aries. I appreciate you, brother. And I love that song. Do it again.
Oh.
Yes, Philip, do it. Sing it again.
Necromance if I want to. I can bring your friends to life. I'm still working on the rest of it.
I thought you already had something for the rest of it. You're supposed to remember these things.
That is one of the other things that I've done during this campaign, Nola, is I've made parody songs. Hey, Spiper.
Viper!
And I'm sorry, Banana Tom, if that now gets stuck in your head.
Again. Well, we're honored to have you. Is it Nola?
Yeah, Nola Ghoul TV.
All right,
Yeah.
Be sure to check our about section for the other things that we're about, obviously.
Yes, we play D&D every Saturday.
Yeah, and then the other cool thing about checking our about section is you'll find links to those two wonderful folks over there to check out their streams so you can drop follows for them. Starkitty, my significant other, is not a streamer right now.
I had a feeling, Nola, that you're from New Orleans.
Why?
Because Nola is short for New
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans, Louisiana. That's so cool. Welcome in. The Aries said, and Miss Ray, I could see and feel the fear in Ray's voice when she met Philip after opening the box. Yeah, she's 8 years old, wandering around in this place she's never been. I was trying to make the fear come through.
You did great, baby. Wonderful.
Yeah, Nola, if you're interested in seeing how this campaign has progressed, because this is our 58 episode, we do have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exclamation point
Oh, yeah.
YouTube. I'm glad you like the RP there, Aries. I'm gonna go grab me.
I figured that would be a treat for you guys. Looks like Banana Tom beat me to it. Thank you, BT. BT.
Technically, I beat Banana Tom, but
Oh, you did? Well, okay. I missed it. All I saw was his.
it's all good.
BT's always on the ball. That was a great snack. It was like I had a banana split without the ice cream.
So just a banana.
It was a banana with some nuts. Yeah. The hitchhiking penguin is here. Flightless bird. He's been here though. Lurking.
Nala Ghoul, thank you for coming on by. I don't know if you did or not, but don't forget to follow Stormy. I'm just gonna pitch him really quick. So Stormy is wonderful and amazing. So hit that follow button for him because he is the bestest and you won't regret it.
The same goes through for them. Check out their
Yeah.
links and drop them follows. We got to support each other. Twitch is about lifting each other up. That's what we do. And that's what Storm Saga Games, and we like to call it Storm Keep, is all about. We lift up people who stream and people who don't stream. If you like to be entertained, encouraged, and enlightened, then you're in the right place.
Well said. Well said.
Oh my goodness. Oh, left the light on over there.
Oh, okay. I'll go turn it off.
It's not a big deal, I suppose. Get my mic back on. Whoop.
Oh.
I must have accidentally hit the F5 button.
So hit the follow button for this channel, Nala. This channel right here, right now, hit that follow button.
I think she already did. She or he already did.
Are you talking about for Druid and Fate?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So,
No.
no, I'm talking about the folks who are in screen right there. That is Druid IRL. See, she's got the Druid shirt on. And that is extirpatefate. Both of them are fellow streamers. And if you go to my About section, maybe you can't go to my About section while I'm online. I don't remember how that works.
Yeah, you can.
You can? Okay. Well, if you go to my About section, it's a he. Okay. Then yeah, if you go to my About section, you will find
You like fun?
links to to them. Yeah.
If you like fun, chaotic streams, definitely check out Druid. If you like chill, relaxed gameplay streams, check out Fate.
Check them out regardless. They're amazing people.
Yes, they are. Thank you, Banana Tom.
Yeah, and someone shout out Banana Tom for God's sake. He's also
I
an
did.
amazing streamer and super mod and supporter. I'll do it myself.
Do you stream Nola? I asked because TV is at the end of your name. Oh, okay.
You used to? Okay. Well, we are honored to have you visiting us here at Stormkeep tonight. And we're grateful to you guys for hanging out while we have our intermission. Now that well, I guess I shouldn't have taken it off of intermission mode because, but
We're good. We're good.
oh, cool, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I appreciate you. While we're in intermission is when we interact with chat for D&D night. We'll be going chat dark here in just a second. Just so you know, though, on my regular stream nights when I'm not streaming D&D, I interact with chat throughout the stream, just like Druid and Fate does as well. So keep that in mind. Our D&D night is just sort of like it's a special night for us to share with you guys. It's our D&D session that we want to share with you guys. And so that we can immerse ourselves in the experience fully and give you more true and authentic experience is the reason why we like to go what I call chat dark, where I basically hide the chat and don't chat with you guys, except in the beginning, the intermission, and the end.
But we have a lovely community here that we'd be happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, our community is freaking phenomenal. So feel free to chat with the folks in chat while we jump back into the story.
Then again, if you still do have questions, there's also a Discord where you can drop any of your D&D questions in there as well. We're always happy to help.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna go chat dark now.
It's nice to meet you, Nola. Thank you for joining.
We're honored to have you.
And thank you for the follow.
Thank you. All right, so I think you guys were deciding on where to put the +1 enchantment bonus to armor, correct?
Yes.
And I think you...
Good day at work. Have a good day at work, Nola. I was chewing on food. I didn't want to talk while chewing.
Yeah.
As you proceed to talk while chewing.
Tried.
Par for the course.
I tried my best.
Par for the course.
You know what?
Bring it.
So what do you guys think?
Armor enchantment, huh?
Yeah. So
Fern is the one with the least amount of armor. What's
don't
your
have
AC?
anything. My AC's at 19.
I think you have the lowest AC.
I have a 20.
Oh, you have a 20.
I have a 20. It used to be a 19, and then I got a +2 cloak of protection.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if we can enchant your bracers there, Fern.
or are you asking the DM if you can use the
armor enhancement on her bracers?
I mean, they're magical. They confer an armor bonus. Tell you what, I'll give you a percentage chance. I won't tell you what the percentage chance is, but I'll give you a shot.
So he's saying it's possible.
Actually, I'll give you a 50-50 shot.
Oh.
Who wants to enchant it to her bracers of armor? If it fails, it uses up the stone.
Well, she's got to attune to it first.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just an hour process. And then we need to roleplay. Oh no, we already roleplayed what Rylar had in his book. You guys probably want to talk about that, and then after that, and after we're done with the gear and talking about that, then we want to go do stuff with the dead elven avatar lady and her nodule.
Yeah.
All right. I know that sounds wrong, right? The way I said that. All right. Who wants to tune it to her bracer? He's gonna do it. All right.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Okay. What do I have to do?
All you gotta do is
High or low?
tell me high or low.
High or low?
Oh, can I say high or low after you roll so I can hear him clack? Does
I
it
already
help me?
rolled it. Yeah.
Oh shit.
All of the pressure.
I'm gonna go high.
It was a 60, so well done.
He's now at 20. Let's go.
Yep. So now your bracers of armor, or whatever they were before, it's basically one more than it was. So you used up the armor one.
Just make bracers plus.
Yeah, we still have the 2 weapon ones.
I think you guys were had decided mostly to put the acid infusion one on his glaive, right?
That's what I think.
So he's doing even more damage?
Yeah. And it's green, it'll match his eyes.
So that's what you guys decide?
Do you want the extra acid damage there, Lorkris?
Or do you want to make your glaive a +3?
Oh, it's currently already a +2?
It's a +2.
So, I mean, like, I think using the acid infusion would probably be the
It's smarter. Yeah.
Plus, it's more thematic as well.
Yeah.
And aesthetically pleasing.
Okay.
All right. So once you imprint it, you find new interesting runes. Are mystically carved into the metal of the blade, and whenever you so the neat thing about this ability is you can activate and deactivate it at will. So, for example, if you come up against a creature that is healed by acid, you can turn it off, and so. And also, if you don't want your weapon having, whenever you activate it, the runes glow the green color, and so that way, if you don't want it glowing, then you can just deactivate it.
Cool.
And it's a free action, so you can do it anytime.
Nice.
And it's just an extra 1d6 acid damage added to the weapon upon hitting an enemy.
Oh yeah.
There's if you think about it, there's a nice bonus to this too, which was really wise for you to make that choice, guys, is because let's say you're up against a troll, something that regenerates. Hitting it with this will stop its regeneration every single time you hit it.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, I gotta find it. Exit.
All right, and then so you figured out. And so I think you guys were saying that you either want to use, you don't want to use the +1 enchantment stone. You want to keep it to potentially give to Miss.
Portal.
What was his name? Forget his name, but yeah, the turtle enchantment guy.
Yep.
Okay.
So that leaves the quiver of the Gloom Elite, or the quiver of Alona.
Gloam Elite, by the way.
Gloom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gloom. Okay. I can't read my own writing. Gloom Elite.
Have you seen my handwriting?
So, you don't feel like you're forced to use all the items either. For example, like,
Want Miss Ray to read the Book of Leadership.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we decided, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna give me an additional +2 to charisma.
What will your charisma be at that time?
24.
Wow, that's godlike charisma. I'm not even
24.
exaggerating.
Huh?
It'd be a 24.
Yeah.
Nice. That's at my strength set.
That's what?
My strength set at 24.
Oh wow, so her charisma will be good as your strength, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy. What's your wisdom over there? 20 or 22?
22.
Thought so. And don't forget, you have this potion of vitality and potion of elixir of health. Both are potions.
We should hand those directly to Lorkris.
Why?
Because I feel like at least the vitality one.
He's a paladin, though, isn't he? At a certain point, he's going to be. If you read what they do, they're really good at basically getting rid of nasty status effects, and he's going to be the one in the party who's least likely to get a status effect.
It's a diseases.
Ah.
Yeah. So it should either go to Emillynn or Rylar because
I was thinking
you're
I could have one, Rylar can have the other one. That way, if
Yeah.
either one of us needs to use it, or we need to use it on
somebody else, it's spread out. Yep,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so which one is which? All right.
I'll take the potion of vitality. Rylar can take the elixir of health.
Okay. Okay.
Emillynn,
Yes, Lorkris.
for the moment, may I see the other half of this? Is it sending stone?
Sure.
Did you called it? Thanks. He's just gonna look at it.
Okay.
Above table, I have access to sending in my spell list, but since it's not something that has been created yet, potentially trying to use this as a type of catalyst of just like,
To figure it
look
out.
at it and then think about, see if I can work it out.
While Lorkris has the stone, I'm gonna like try to sneak away a little bit. And I'm going to say, Lorkris! Lorkris!
Do you say it at that volume?
I try to say it quiet, but I'm obviously loud, you know. So I'm trying to whisper, but the more I talk, the more loud I get.
Yeah. So you hear it coming through the stone, and of course you also hear it in the room.
I'm just gonna like,
It's an echo.
there's a delay. That's a lot.
Nice.
Did it sound cool? Talk back to me!
Man.
Lorkris will just talk. I'm just gonna talk back to you, not even through the stone. I'm like, you're right here. We're in the same room, Fern.
I wanted to test it!
I know it works. I can hear you.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You took all the fun out of it.
It's a point.
Philip says to you, they're really crazy, you know. It's one of the things that I like about that you found these friends of yours. They're really funny. They crack me up.
I know.
Right. I was like, I know, right? They're so funny.
I know. Back to when we were first recruiting people for our team, Philip. I remember we were both unsure about these two, but
Oh, are you kidding me? I thought you were like, I thought you were off your rocker, off your nuts for picking them. I was like, what? I mean, he seems big and strong, so I like that was a smart choice. But I was like, you're gonna have to protect that little girl all the time. Boy, I was certainly wrong about her. She's crazy powerful. All these weird secrets you guys figuring out. What is up with what Rylar wrote in his book? Are we gonna figure that out? You guys need to get on track here. Come on now. He taps his little round body with one of his eye stalks.
Oh my god.
thank you, Philip, for keeping me on track.
Just kidding. I love it. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Like, I would not be where I am
No.
today if it wasn't for Philip. Like, get back on the ball, or Emillynn, get back on the ball. You gotta find people for your team.
Okay. The bubble is fragile. I don't know what that means. What do they mean by bubble? This feels like a very, I don't know. Feels weird.
I mean, the bubble could mean like several different things, Fern. It could be like maybe this dimension that we're in. It could be maybe what this beholder thing was trying to create here, because, you know, the bramble wall is kind of like a barrier in itself, so this area could be like the entire bubble.
Oh, Rylar was like, oh wait.
Yes, Rylar.
So, the bubble is fragile, and then the next sentence is the causalic membrane must not be disrupted. That's kind of, I think they're talking about the same thing. So maybe maybe it's the barrier over the northern part of the island.
Maybe. Pat Rylar on the back. Look at you. You're so smart.
Oh, I'm not. I know I'm not smart. No. Well, I sometimes figure stuff out, yeah, sure, but, you know. Usually, it's if I had a good who that morning. And I haven't had one yet, because we've been stuck in his room.
Disrupted.
It's okay, Rylar. That'll happen soon.
But what's this other part?
The observer's presence actualized from within framework would be catastrophic to the process.
I don't know what the hell that means. And then
It could, maybe it's referring to the beholder, because we just throw some chaos into their process.
So Philip says, well, I don't know why you're thinking that it's the enemies or whatever. I mean, you clearly asked Rylar to talk to Goo, right? Mm-hmm. Whoever this Goo person is.
True. Yes.
So in context of what you was asked, what tasks you were giving him, you have to think of it in context of that.
Oh. So are you saying that whatever's in Rylar could be the observer?
Or maybe what's in Rylar was what wrote in the book. And maybe what wrote in the book is talking about Goo. Maybe Goo is the observer.
Or maybe you're the observer, Philip.
Well, I'm always got my eyes on you guys, you know. Because you take care of my Emillynn and you keep her voice alive, and that means everything to me.
We'll come back to that line, but the next one is find egress and attempt reconciliation of connection. And the last line is the Twilight Imperium has spoken. Philip, do you know anything about the Twilight Imperium? Have you heard that name before?
I only know what I've told you, what you already know, what I've said.
You still don't want to talk about the eye.
I said I can't talk about that.
You can't talk about that.
Well, that's what I said. He flicks one of his own eyes with one of his other eyes.
Okay.
I mean, I know this is going back a couple lines, but the membrane could be a rift, like the one that was opened by this so-called beholder to bring the goblinoid armies through.
But didn't the beholder say before the battle that he's already closed that rift?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, but that means that the Goldathian mines are going to start to have living stuff in it again.
That's true.
Rylar says, well, if it's, what if I'm right and the membrane bubble thing is the barrier, right?
That's what I'm thinking too. So
you guys said that when I went super sleepy in that one combat, that you said some giant bloody eye came forth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
And from some sort of rip, right? But that was inside the Goldathian mines on the other side of the barrier, right? It wasn't inside. It wasn't here. That was outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that means something.
Maybe.
I mean, look what it's saying. The observers the observer's presence
Actualize.
yeah, from within the framework would be catastrophic to the process. What if it's referring back to the other part? I don't know what process it's talking about, but maybe some processes happen inside the membrane bubble, and the observer is goo, and he's afraid that if he comes and visits to talk to me inside the bubble, that he would break it or something. That's kind of what I feel like. I don't really understand these other words in that other sentence, though. I mean, the Twilight Imperium has spoken. I have no idea what that is. That's like, doesn't have anything to do with any of the stuff that I studied for goo.
So you've not heard of this egress before either?
Well, that's a word. What does that word mean?
Is egress a word, or is it like actually like a person or something? Does it sound to me like a name?
How is it written in Rylar's book? Is it written with a capital letter as if name or title?
It
or
is not written with
as
a capital letter. It's written it's written just like a regular word.
Lowercase that.
Oh, I see. So Philip says, "Oh, I get it now." So what you're saying is, the sentence doesn't say "find egress," like go look for egress, the person named egress. What you're saying is you think "find egress" means a word.
I originally thought the opposite, but that's why I asked for clarification.
Well, egress.
I saw you looking.
If I remember correctly, egress means to either leave or enter.
No, it doesn't mean enter.
Oh, going out. Oh, yeah, leaving a place. Sorry. Going out of or leaving a place, according to the dictionary.
So find egress and attempt
Reconciliation of connection. So what if reconciliation of the connection has something to do with the lady?
Oh.
Rylar says,
I
I don't think that's it.
Oh, it
It
could be
has to do
part
with
of
the
it.
trees, probably.
Well, but this is all happened because I went and tried to talk to Goo.
But if we're talking about the barrier, I mean, we got to figure out what caused the barrier to begin with. Right now,
We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know
But
that.
in the,
my suspicion is that the problem is where we are. We are not on our plane of existence. It's probably not safe for you to try to contact Rylar here, fabricate space. Am I right? You mentioned this is like one of those magic castles that could be hidden inside of small.
This is true.
Most likely, it seemed that Goo wants us to leave this pocket dimension because if he were to show up, it would shatter.
so Philip says, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I see what you're saying, and that sort of makes sense for sure. But where is this pocket dimension sitting at? It's inside the barrier. Maybe that's what this Goo person is worried about.
This pocket dimension?
No, not the pocket dimension. Like the pocket dimension isn't this goo person care about this fragile bubble that's a membrane thing, right? But egress, I was gonna say, you figured it out on your own and I knew you could, but I was gonna say egress means to leave. So we're supposed to find a way to leave and then attempt to reconnect. But you're right, Lorkris has a good idea. Maybe we're supposed to leave this place inside this, you know, but I think maybe it's deeper than that because, you know, I think it's talking about the barrier. Maybe we're supposed to leave outside of it so it doesn't get disrupted.
Don't we want to try to disrupt it though?
I would imagine not. We would want to pass it if this barrier is keeping Triumvirate from easily crossing and destroying the city and what is beyond.
That is true.
Rylar says, but they
That
could pass through before through all the teleportation group clusters. They could have left at any time.
We don't know how many they can send at once. How quickly that takes. Dropping that membrane could accelerate that.
I feel, Rylar says, look, I know I'm not the smartest one of us, but I feel like we're leaving a piece of the puzzle out of the picture. Like, we gotta step back and look at the big picture, you know? What if the, what if the barrier isn't like keeping them, those like warring people in? Maybe it's protecting something else. What was the history of your people again, Fern?
You know, there was a light at the top of a mountain and they couldn't climb out of it. And then they decided they wanted to fight other people. And then they got consumed by darkness and evil.
Didn't it also mention something about a shadowy figure?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the barrier membrane thing has something to do with the light on the mountain. I don't know, but what we can do, right? Isn't there a way we can test both ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, I think all we got to do is, right, after we're done investigating the creepy elven dead lady and see if we can talk to her and getting the nodule and stuff, we just gotta, we can test by trying to, I can try the ritual to talk to Goo again and see what happens. And then if that doesn't work, then we got to try and find a way to get out of on the other side of the barrier and see if that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we gonna go talk to the dead lady now?
I've been thinking about that. If she is from that time period where your people, or supposedly people, were warring with the Goliaths, I don't think she'd want to talk to me. Furthermore, I don't know if it's smarter to remove the nodule first or after we try to talk. Don't know if it would be helpful. What do you think?
We should probably remove the nodule first.
Why?
Who wants to talk with a stick poking out of their chest? You know?
So to be clear, it's not a stick. It's it's actually more like a stone that's been shoved up into her heart. But yeah, I just clarified because
a piece of something inside, you know.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that that I was clear from before.
I made something up literally on the fly.
No, it was good. It was good.
The only reason I feel hesitant about removing it is he's very, very old. What if that nodule is the only thing that's holding her body together right now? And if we remove it, he turns to dust. Would you still be able to talk to her then?
No. I believe the only real condition for Speak with Dead is that it needs to be able to have a mouth. Like, the head and mouth needs to be intact, so as long as it's like head up, I believe.
I don't think it specifies that. There just needs to be a corpse. And Emillynn does have a point.
No,
I don't understand divine spells very well, but
I'm
just
still
watching
learning.
Lorkris the last time when, it seemed like he needed something physical.
Trying to find Speak with Dead. Where are you? Oh, did I just not take Speak with Dead? What are you talking about?
I thought you were.
I mean,
No,
it doesn't
I know
matter
I
what it
did.
says on the sheet. I mean, on the digital thing.
Yeah.
Because you can always just change it, like right now. But
Yeah.
either way. Plus, we're also just kind of in roleplay mode, but...
I mean, as far as I know, it needs to be able to have some way of speaking.
Just in case, we'll remove the nodule after.
That sounds very smart.
Oh! Rylar raises his hand as usual.
Yes, Rylar?
Who's gonna remove it? I think that makes sense.
All right.
I'll try not to be super weird and dramatic when I do. Try to make sure it's serious.
Well, team, are we ready?
So, okay, wait. So you don't think that she's going to talk to you? Because you're Goliath?
Probably not. She might talk to you.
Well,
And as far
Lorkris,
as I know,
the spell, how does it work? It doesn't... Like, I don't think you have to be the one necessarily asking the questions.
no, we
You just have
figured
to
that
make
out
the
already.
spell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want me to be the one to talk to her?
So we need to write out questions for Fern to ask.
How many do I get?
5.
Okay. What are the questions I'm asking? The fuck happened?
Fern. We are a family-friendly adventuring party.
Whose family?
Fun to film.
Like, just as shocked as everyone else. You're welcome.
She's been spending too much time at the docks.
Har.
I pushed the boat out all by myself. I can say the one F-bomb.
Right.
Okay, so... What, like, how are we supposed to ask, like, what happened? Like, when did the rock get shoved into your heart?
Should we ask
When
her
did
what's
that
the
creepy
last
guy
thing
show
she
up?
remembers?
Huh?
Should we ask her what's the last thing she remembers?
What did the... What was it?
What
The
did box
beholder.
say?
You call it the Void Walker? What was the name that he gave the that black shadow? I
Yeah,
don't
he
quite
called
remember
it, he called it, where did I have it? Just a
Void
sec.
something.
Okay, so I wrote down what is the last thing that you remember when you were alive.
He called it the Void Lord.
The Void Lord. Void Lord. You can always ask who is the Void Lord. She might know.
Philip says, well, doesn't that question seem kind of vague?
Yeah.
I mean, what if that's a name that only the beholder gave it? Like, you know, just too much of a chance that it would be a dud question, it seemed like. But in the history that you guys were reading off, it talked about the elders having had a vision of meeting the Shadow Man. Maybe if you track in with the question directly on that, then you can coax out the info.
True. So should we ask something along the lines of, who is this Shadow Man, or
What was the vision?
yeah, what
Of
was
the
the
Shadow
vision
Man.
of the Shadow Man? Yeah.
Okay, number 3. Do you recognize my face?
Yeah, I could ask her what happened to the Splinter group. Trying to remember, did your people's lore talk about some sort of savior or chosen one or something?
I'm scrolling through it right
Who are
now.
you talking about? I'm not understanding who you're asking.
Talking to Fern, trying to remember her people's lore.
So, the elven lady you guys are talking to is supposedly the chosen one.
Oh, okay.
But based upon what you guys figured out, it seems as if she was totally, basically duped into performing some sort of ritual that sacrificed a number of her people to give her divine power. But then after that, she was hooked up to this machine, and the life was sucked away. The divine energy was sucked away from her. Okay. And then later on, another ritual was performed. I mean, that was actually that was the second ritual. The first time they did a ritual, there were 3 rituals that were performed. It didn't specify that there were 3 rituals, but basically what you gathered from the history was that from piecing together the information from the beholder and from their history walls, was that they just kept making bargains with this Shadow Man, and he gave them rituals that would give them power. The first one was to create an army of shadow elves. The second, and it required sacrificing a number of people to this endeavor. And then the second ritual was to create the bramble wall. And actually, no, I take that back. Let me back up that up a second. There was only 2 rituals. It was the one to make shadow elves, and then one to make the elven avatar divine. And she was the one who, made the bramble wall with her power. And so, and it also required sacrificing a large number of their own people. And so you start to get this picture where you start to realize why all the ghosts, you know, even though you can't really call them that, they're not even actual like spectral ghosts. They're just these kind of weird echoey shadows wandering aimlessly through their lives. They can't interact with you guys at all in any way, from what you can tell, except for the guardians of the temple, obviously. But those were probably some of those shadow elves that were made previously. So, but yeah, in the end, she was left in this machine for 15,000 years to be feeding some dark purpose, with her immortal essence being drained away and corrupted. And somehow or another, the beholder was sending it to somewhere else, likely at the behest of the Shadow Man / Void Lord.
Know what questions to ask. I have so many.
I know. What about in all of this time being here, did you learn any secrets about the Shadow Man? That sounds like a good one.
Depends on how long she's had consciousness from. Right, if that's still even there.
I do want to ask her if she recognizes. Is that okay?
Sure.
What you got?
I'm reading the Beholder's notes.
How many questions you have? 4 right now?
Yeah. What do we have? 4?
3.
3.
3.
We have, what is the last thing you remember? The elders had the vision of a shadow man. What is that? And do you recognize my face?
What's so important about the light at the top of the mountain? Or where is the mountain that the light is atop? Just because they couldn't ascend the mountain doesn't mean that we can't. I mean, I was born in the mountains, so...
Rylar said, but didn't the history say that they even developed special technology to try and go up, but that the mountain seemed to be like hindering them almost mystically?
That is true. It has also been said that no one would be able to pass these mountains yet here.
You're right about that. Look at you. See, that's why you're the big boss guy. I whatever you say, bud.
I'm not even that big, I'm pretty short.
I believe in you. You're
And Morgan is just like, I'm short. No.
So do you want me to ask, like, what happened to the light? Do you know? Did you get there? Did you learn the secret?
I mean...
That's one question.
Why is it so important?
Philip says, well, if I remember the history watching you guys and stuff, it didn't look like they ever made it. In fact, it looked like the Shadow Man basically tricked them into never succeeding in getting to the light because they was always fighting with each other.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Almost makes you wonder if they had just stopped fighting and worked together, if they would have made it.
What is that?
Just put your hand against my hand. You're lucky I didn't
Confused.
lick it.
It's immediately dirty. Rylar, can you help me out here?
We have shirt of it.
I know.
That was gross.
It was.
I don't know what else to ask you guys. I have a lot of questions and they're compound questions, and I know that we can't ask complicated ones because I want to just be like, okay, so there was that light and stuff. Did you, like, ever learn about what it was? Did you realize you were tricked? How do you feel now that you've been tricked?
So
Do you
many
regret?
questions.
Do you regret sacrificing your people? I bet this tree was beautiful once. What color were the leaves?
Well, you guys are going to have to come up with 2 more questions.
So do we not want to ask what mountain the light is atop?
What mountain?
That would be a good question because I don't
Be nice to
remember
know.
the
Because
history.
it
talking
only
about
had
it.
mentioned the mountain with the light. We know that the bramble wall was put up as a defensive barrier between these 2 factions.
So I'll help you guys out a little bit. Just a little bit DM help here. Full map scene. Kind of take a peek at the map. So you have where you guys are currently at is the ziggurat far to the left in the I can't read it. The
Frost-cairn ruins.
Yeah, remember that was a name that was given to this place by the map makers, who could only visualize it from a distance, using eye stuff while flying for short periods of time, right?
Yeah.
And and then all the way over to the right, based upon the history that you've read and what you guys have been figuring out, you suspect that what's the other one on the right there?
Gloomspire Crag.
The Gloomspire Crag is likely the citadel of the Triumvirate. So, based upon what the history said, the mountain was in the northeast away from the elves, which would make it in the middle somewhere between the 2 nations, but to the north. So just in general, asking her, I don't know, think about that. If you ask the question the way you phrased it, how do you think she would answer?
It's in the
Who's the
northeast.
north?
You have to say, would she give you information? Would she give you any information that you didn't already know? Is basically what I'm getting at. What's strange though is that it talks about this huge mountain that appeared. Remember in the history?
Mm-hmm. Maybe before we go talk to her, we should take a step outside and see if we can see this mountain with the light.
Oh, you never did see it from anywhere by the ziggurat or anything.
Okay.
Not from there anyway. Of course, you haven't actually, because of the way you travel, like you would have only seen the deep wood and the northern forest beyond the deep wood and the mountains to the north. Like from the way the horizon would work, you wouldn't be able to see anything that's in between the 2 nations. So you suspect the only way that you're going to be able to find it or see it, you might be able to spot something from the top of the ziggurat on the outside. You haven't looked, you're not sure. But if you can't, then the only other option would be to travel through the deep wood, through the bramble wall, and you hope and suspect that you would be able to spot what they're describing from there.
Should we ask her how to get rid of the bramble wall?
Well,
I thought we
add a
understood
character.
that the
You guys, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was saying, I thought we understood that the artifact or node or nodule that is embedded within the avatar would allow us to pass through the deep wood and or nullify the effects of it.
Right. You're close. What I had indicated is that the nodule will help you pass through the bramble wall without, any danger to you. But the bramble wall itself, now that its route to the planet is dead, will just deteriorate on its own in time. But it's going to take a long time, the mystical part of it can be disrupted with the nodule, and the more you disrupt it, the more likely it is that it will eventually, you know what I'm saying? You're right. Basically, what Lorkris is saying is right. It's not like it's going to take down the whole thing. It's just going to, by using the nodule to pass through it, it will accelerate the process in certain areas of it breaking down. And you suspect that once the magical energies that infuse it dissipate completely, then it will be able to be removed. It won't be as regenerative and indestructible as it currently is. Based upon the notes that you found.
Gotcha. Okay.
With the beholder.
What if we ask her about the gargantuan from the other side? Do you know what happened?
I mean, we kind of know what happened to them.
That's true.
We probably know a lot more about what happened to them than she does. So,
I feel like we had a lot more questions for her yesterday.
We have, 4 questions?
3.
How do we still only have 3 questions? We had 3 written down, and I've seen you.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
because who was the void lord? I crossed it off, and then what mountain was the light atop? I wrote that down. Then we just had this discussion about her being like it's in the northeast-ish area. And then I went to go start writing about one, but we already know how to get rid of the bramble wall.
did any of the notes talk about like how either side attempted to make their way up the mountain?
No.
With arcane, climbing technologies is what they.
Yeah, it was a mixture of magic and physical climbing technology.
Okay.
Who was the divergent elder?
Oh,
Now
Is
you
that
guys
okay?
are thinking.
That's a good question.
I pulled the notes and I was just like,
I know you kept hiding the notes every time I'm trying to read.
you tried to read them.
Just looking up and happy to see them, and you're like, every time I go to look, you're like, I'm gonna pull it. Tribal. Yeah, Divergent Elder is the best I got.
Who was that Divergent Elder and what happened to them?
It would be 2 questions.
Yeah.
I want to be like, how did it feel to be alive for this long? Stuck in this little tiny box.
Technically, she was alive anymore.
Until like a week ago. It's a pretty long time.
That's fair. It's up to you.
I'm sorry to throw you guys for a loop. I didn't think this would be.
No.
By the way, I need to switch
Yeah.
maps here.
Well, there's so
Switch.
many questions that we have that are just kind of like short, easy answers. But I mean, if we want like information, it's like trying to like drill down like the best question to ask.
Mm. All right, so we have 4 questions now. We just need one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loose.
Rylar raises his hand. I don't know if this will be useful to us, but I do have a question that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
I would like to ask her if it was worth it.
That is a very good question.
But I totally get that doesn't help us figure stuff out. It's just something that I would like to know.
Honestly, that was one of my first questions I wanted to ask, but we were trying to figure out information. But, you know, I think we should just ask her.
Oh shit.
What did you do?
I'm so sorry.
You have the mouse.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sorry.
Everything seems
I had the
okay
wrong
on our end.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's,
no, that was my beat.
it's fine.
That was my bad.
Okay.
I think we
mean,
should
I
ask
feel
her
like-
if everything they did was worth it.
All right. So you got your 5 questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Let's exit the pocket dimension and see if you guys can still see and hear Philip.
All right. You guys,
Moment of truth.
who's gonna go out of the pocket dimension first? Okay,
I want to
Lorkris,
be in here. Yeah.
you exit the room just as if you entered the room. Didn't seem that different. Just to be clear, you're starting to kind of understand the concept, the idea of the pocket dimension. It's not that it's a different universe. It's just an enhanced dimensional space within this space. So it still exists. You know, just the arcane understanding of it is it still exists as part of this space. It's almost like it's borrowing space from somewhere else to give you more space in this spot than should exist.
Okay.
And so who goes out next? Like Lorkris is standing out there on the other side, nothing different about him. Fern follows next. He sees Lorkris there. He looks down at her. He looks up at him. Nothing different.
Rylar, after you.
He waves and walks through the door. Rylar's with them.
I look at Philip.
This will be super sad if they can't see me anymore, but
I know.
we've been used to it, so, you know, don't worry. I'm always gonna stick with you. You're my first, bestest, and truest friend. And I will snuggle you forever to sing to me, okay?
Okay. That's a promise. Let's go, Philip. Step through.
You step through. You guys can still see and hear Philip.
I'm like, Philip, do you guys still see him? Do you see him? Do you see him?
Yes.
Philip, say something. Say something.
Something.
Did you hear him?
Something!
Yeah, that's what I said.
Lorkris, can you? Rylar, can you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, I know another good test.
What?
Miss Fern was the thing with earlier yesterday. He was like wanting to touch me, and I wasn't feeling up for it. But I got kind of itch on my back. If you want to give me a little scratch, I don't want you getting your claws. Just one little finger is good enough. Look at how tiny I am. Jeez. He spins around with his little eyes looking at you. Oh, that feels good. Oh yeah, that's good. You can feel him, and he feels like you would imagine he would.
Oh no.
Question.
Yeah.
In all the times.
She's imagining a testicle, I knew it.
So now, in all the times that we've been traveling
So it's become
together, if you guys ever wondered why Emillynn was always doing this, now you know why.
Back scratches. I was gonna say, has Emillynn always been able to physically touch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, doing this, she's doing something. She's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Star just made Druid think of a Philip Buster Nut. Yeah.
Literally, because he was just like, it's exactly how you would imagine it. That was like a ball sack.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my neck hurts.
Emily.
I was gonna be like a
What'd you
hairless
say?
cat,
Said family friendly.
but then I was just gonna be nice and say hairless cat. But then
yeah.
Stormy had to just call me out.
That's twice now. It's twice now the nut sacks have come out.
What do they call it? Braining someone?
I am deceased. Will you just take me? Ready? No. That's
Sorry.
funny. Nope, we're good. No apologize.
Okay. Whew. All right, that was good. That was fine.
All right.
And ironically, some of our folk missed it, but that's okay. Spiper saw it all. He witnessed the comedic chaos.
Yeah, that'll get clipped for sure.
If you ask, should I clip it? You should clip it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Ares and Dagop
And Tom are on it.
will. Oh, Ares was here after all. I'm surprised no comments from him.
He was busy clipping.
Or laughing his ass
there it
off.
is.
He was busy clipping.
Trying to breathe.
Yeah.
'Cause I gotta admit, that was pretty freaking funny.
Aries was busy clipping.
pretty
Did you not see him post a clip in the chat?
Yeah, I did. That's why I'm like, oh, he was there. Because Ares is always on the ball. He's amazing. So, all right.
So before we walk down into theirs, I did forget to tell you guys one other thing about Philip, is he can't really venture too far from me. That's another thing we haven't quite figured out why. So.
He was crying from laughing. Always on the ball. Was that a poor choice of words or a perfect choice of words? I don't know.
Both.
All right.
But the perfect Welsh choice of words.
I mean, earlier I did have him say, keep your eyes on the ball, right? And then he tapped himself.
Yeah.
Any rate, all right. So you guys can still interact with Rylar. I mean, with
Philip.
With Philip.
Philip.
He's still there.
I imagine I'd help everybody get across the little corner gap from where we, destroyed the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, easy enough. Easy day. Yeah.
No problem. So you guys are back down in the inner temple room, across that gap, standing in front of the ancient elven corpse. Ancient elven demigod corpse.
Fern, are you ready? Emillynn, do you have her script?
I do. I've got the questions written out right here, Fern.
Thank you.
Word
Stick
for
to the
word.
script.
Okay.
Can you read that? Sorry.
So you cast this spell, you do your little ritual, and when you do that, you I do it a little differently than they did in the D&D movie. I view it as a spiritual kind of spectral version of the person is kind of hovering in the same space as them, you know, kind of overlapping slightly, and that's how they speak forth. But there does need to be a corpse, a physical form. It can't be dust. Bones is enough, just for future reference. But if it's dust, that's it.
Gotcha.
And you guys were really wise to do what you did, by the way. So anyway, yeah, you call forth your ritual, and sure enough, you detect this spectral presence there. You can kind of visualize it just barely, just as an echo on top of it. You know, what you think was likely a very beautiful elven maiden. And she's like looking around like this. Got this very kind of menacing look on her eyes, but also one of sadness and regret, despair at the same time.
I'm gonna ask all of my questions in Druidic, okay?
Okay.
As she says that, I'll nudge Rylar and be like, "Can you translate for us, please?"
He thumbs you up.
Thank you.
And he will translate telepathically with everybody.
And I will translate telepathically with Philip.
Wait, did we ever say you had a telepathic connection with him?
No.
I was gonna say, so you're gonna tell him, and you're gonna tell him. You're gonna translate it. Okay, all right, go ahead. I guess actually she would say, I'm back here. I thought I was gone. Will the hell never end?
My name is Fern. What is the last thing that you remember from when you were alive?
The last thing I remember was performing the divinity ritual. And as I was doing so, the representative of the Shadow Man, he stopped looking like a man, instead looking like a giant eyeball thing floating in the air. But it was too late. I was locked in the tree in this infernal machine of his. Sorry, can you guys hear that? I know. Did you, in chat, did you hear me out since I was whispering?
The elders had the vision of a shadow man. What was the vision actually?
Well, the last vision that we had was the vision that I had. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna bring up that. That was the... There it is. Oh, that's not right. What's the name of the dock?
The glow.
Name of the what? Oh.
Oh,
no,
Shadow
I
Elf Temple Walls. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is literally she's just gonna say what was on the wall.
Not exactly. But close. Because you guys asked what if you look at the history, there was more than one dream. And so she's going to give you the one, she's obviously giving you the last one that she had, which got her in the position that she's in. Yeah, she basically shares, I'll just reread history part 17. Let me try and read it from her point of view. When I had come of age and was named the Queen of the Gloam people as their druidic avatar. And the Shadow Man came to me with a divine revelation in my personal chambers, in my dreams, in my visions. He shared with me how to undergo a special, secret, private ritual that would infuse me with divine energy, turn me into a demigod so that we could crush the vile gargantuans, but that the ritual would take a very, very long time, and that some of the people would need to be sacrificed for this, and that they should continue the war for as long as the ritual would go on. But that our only chance of survival and success was to follow his lead without exception. And I believed it. I believed it all. I let the waves of rage and hatred blow through me. Of course, that was the way I was raised.
Do you recognize my face?
You look like one of my people, the Gloam Elves, I suppose. A little bit different. Very young. Light of frame. But I don't know why I should recognize you. No?
I was just hoping. Who was the divergent leader?
Elder.
Elder.
Right? Divergent Elder.
That was
Elder.
from the Beholder Journal, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The Divergent Rebel faction. Oh, we hated those traitors most of all, but as it turns out, they were the wise ones after all. They saw through the vile deception of the Shadow Man. They knew it to be a falsehood, a trick laid upon us all, and they tried to escape. Apparently, they even were able to meet up with a similar small faction of gargantuans who thought and felt the same way somewhere. So we hunted them for a long time, But one day, we finally found them, we finally caught them. And they were eliminated. I suppose that is one of the many regrets piled upon the mountain that I have created.
Fern is gonna get really close to her. Was it worth it?
You almost see like, you can imagine if she had tear ducts, they would be leaking. And you can see in her eyes, like she can't even mouth the response because it's just so obvious by the look on her face. And she says, the thing I regret the most is that it took me over 1,000 years in this awful existence before I really realized the awful things that we had done and how much it was not worth it. How could I not have seen it sooner?
Leaves of the tree!
Say again?
What color were the leaves of the tree on?
She's gone now.
Yeah, she's already faded. That was actually that was 5 questions? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, all right.
All right.
Rylar
Shit.
says, well, that was super creepy. Did we know anything more than we did before?
That the beholder could shapeshift. We learned that one.
Or cast illusion magic.
Yeah, whatever. The idea in my head was cooler. I mean, we did learn that she realized how stupid her ideas were. She didn't answer who was the elder. She didn't actually answer that question. Who she was.
Oh,
Or he.
maybe it's because I misunderstood the question. I thought you asked.
Yeah, I said, who was the divergent elder?
Oh, is that really what you asked? I thought you asked what happened to them.
No, I said, who was the...
Oh. I'm gonna leave it with that. That was her answer because, in context,
That's fine.
her frame of mind, that was.
Felt like it made sense in the moment. But we didn't really learn that much more.
Well, kind of. We learned that there's a good chance that what Moo had said about my ancestry and what has happened with these gargantuans, that likely my ancestors are the ones from.
It is true.
So Rylar raises his hand. So do you think that some of your that some of these rebel peoples were able to escape the island, and that's where your people came from? Is that what you're saying, Lorkris?
It's a possibility.
Oh.
And maybe some of Fern's people too? Because how else did she get off the island?
No, the beholder said that they found all of the divergents and then killed them all.
That's right.
So that's why we're very confused about where I came from.
I mean, both things can be true. They could have found everyone that they could have found and killed them. It does not mean all of them were found.
That is true. That is true.
You can say you've picked all the flowers that you found, but there's still more.
But you shouldn't pick all of the flowers, though.
But that still doesn't answer the question why, when you found her, Lorkris, she had no memories of before you found her.
How Fern came to those woods is still a mystery.
It's quite confusing. I did the same thing, Philip. I just woke up one day. But that was by myself in the woods, though. Lorkris had to potty train me.
Rylar was like, maybe that's not something you want to go telling everybody, Miss Fern. Just saying.
Well, that is the first time I've told you guys, and we've been hanging out for a while.
I don't mind. I understand that too. Like, I was pretty old when I got potty trained too.
While they're having this conversation, Lorkris has a thought, and it's partially because Fate can't wholeheartedly remember. But Lorkris is going to reach into a bag of holding and find his mentor's journal. Because I remember there were things that we couldn't read in that journal. There was a cipher. Can Philip read it? Wondering if it's, what's the Queequel?
Yeah, Quell.
Yeah.
Also,
And Lorkris is gonna pull out and look at it and go, does it look kind of similar to the beholder's writings were, before even asking the question?
Did you say that out loud? Or
No. Lorkris is gonna pull out the journal and take a look. And do these writings resemble?
You're asking me.
Yeah.
He's asking the DM.
Yeah.
Before asking that question out loud, he's gonna be, do they look like it?
Let me think about that for a second.
but then Rylar would have been able to.
No, yeah, so if I remember correctly, the thing is, Rylar can read languages, and Quevquell's a language, but this is more like a code of some kind.
Okay.
It's without the cipher to decipher it, like your
Yeah, there's no key. Yeah, okay. Never mind. He's gonna close the book and put it back. He's like,
So Fern is just gonna like squat down next to the corpse, and as she's talking to Rylar, she's gonna rubble around, try to find it. I have a really high medicine, so it should be fine. But
well, keep in mind, like I
squat
said,
down.
so she's basically kind of stretch up into the tree like this.
Yeah,
So,
well,
and
she's
her
gonna
chest
go
is
up there.
exposed. So if you want to get at it, you can actually just reach right up under her rib cage, if you want.
Yeah. So Lorkris had to teach me that it's rude to pee in front of people. So I had to It was really weird because you know I spent time in the woods all by myself and shoving my hands into the cold and you know and like rummaging around.
You find
You
it
know, and, like-
surprising that the heart still feels a little wet and soft. But you do find the nodule, which is basically it's like a little stone shiv that's shaped like if you took
I felt that like whole thing. Like, how do you explain?
Yeah. Imagine if you took, I guess. All right, that's not a better. Here's a better example. You take a D8 and you stretch it so that it's long and thin. And the center squishes in. That's the shape of this thing, and it's about this big. And it's
D8 for reference.
right, and so that's you feel that thing, and it actually it's I'm sorry, it's tiny. It's about this big, and so.
So is it like tiny, like our platinum poppers tiny, or a little bit bigger than our platinum poppers?
Like tiny, like your platinum poppers.
Okay.
And she finds it just kind of partially jammed in her heart. And as she pulls it out, the
like half of it looks like this.
yeah, that's a good example. Only even tinier. Nice. And yeah, just imagine it like half that size or even less. But basically, when she feels it, it feels kind of like a warm sensation, like almost not like burning, but almost like a slight vibration, and it kind of stings her a little bit. But once she has hold of it, she yanks it out, and she could feel the heart shrivel up instantly after she does so, and then you hear kind of a sound of breath, and the corpse just starts crumbling into dust right before your eyes, and she's holding the shard with a shocked look on her face. And you have this feeling of relief wash over you. And so now you have this magic nodule.
Add it to your inventory, Druid.
Magical nodule.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be my prop for it. For
Perfect.
now.
I love it. We have a prop for it. Is cool.
Druid, did you tell us your dream out loud, or
No,
no? Okay.
I only made passing comments.
Right, she teased about it a little bit. But Druid, you start to think about it a little bit, and the feeling that you got from your dream is similar to the feeling that washed over you after pulling this nodule out. It makes you remember your dream very vividly, actually. You don't think it's necessarily a direct connection, but like, you know how multiple things can mean multiple things, or something can mean multiple things. Like you honestly, your character feels that your dream means multiple things, but it could also mean what you just experienced too. Like maybe the spirit in your dream is representative of the spirit you just released from this thing.
To go into the river of Styx.
And I think, did we get a raid or something? We got a big pop of people. I think though this is, oh my gosh, it's iRock. StormyD Da Vinci Code, right on. Guys, I think this is a perfect place to wrap up, don't you?
Oh, what?
Unless you had something else to say or role play. Did we lose you? Or did you lose us? Can you hear us?
Hold on, let me see.
Testing, testing. Interesting.
I didn't do anything. I'm just gonna turn them off.
Thank
Right
you for
on.
the lurk, Ira.
Thank you for the lurk, IROC. We appreciate to see you again. Thorgrim has been beside himself with... What did that say? What is that word? Gride?
Thorgrim had been beside himself with greed. Greed?
Is it greed or grief?
Grief?
Oh, grief.
Grief.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You good? You good over there, Fate?
Can we hear you? Can you hear us now?
Yep.
Okay.
So is there any other role-playing you wanted to do this evening?
When the corpse turned to dust, is there still dust remnants? Or did that completely just gone?
I mean, there's a basically the whole thing is just kind of a giant pile of soft dirt now, right? Soft ash, soft, yeah.
Lorkris is gonna take
by
some
the
of
way,
that.
sorry to interrupt you. When this whole thing happened, Fern felt like a jolt in her backpack from Chonkapillar.
Chonkapillar?
Did you open your backpack? Check on him?
Yeah.
He seems okay. You can definitely start to see places where the cocoon is stretched and starting to get more transparent, and you can definitely tell he's been working his little butt off trying to get out of there. So
I'm gonna have a talk with Chonkapillar after Lorkris does whatever he's gonna do with.
okay. You were
So
saying
you can
Lorkris.
do whatever it is.
He's just gonna take some of the ashes
Okay.
and the remnants, with the intent that trying to embody that aspect of a shepherd.
Shepherd of the Dead.
And yeah, realizing that though the decisions that she made were poor, she was deceived, but she was trying to do what was best for people at that time. Though it ended up not being the right thing, right? Like he's trying to look at the glass half full.
Well, no, I get that
Was
he's
it
trying to get the
truly evil?
glass half full. I just want to make it clear that there wasn't any, like, even before the big, like, their whole culture had become dark and evil, like, just really bad. She was raised.
Yeah.
She was raised to be bad, but she had thousands of years trapped in this hell of her own body to figure shit out.
Well, absolutely. And like, though her motivations were not the best, it was born from deceit.
Yeah, no, I
And
mean, yeah.
You can't blame that, much like how we looked at Guar.
Yeah.
His existence was born of deceit, yet you could still find the good in it. So I think for a context of helping that like move on, I think if either we make it to the outside of the top of the ziggurat, he's gonna let the ashes spread, or find an appropriate place to do.
So you guys intend to try and find a way to go outside to the top of the ziggurat?
Who knows? I have no idea. I don't know if we plan to do that or not, but it's that idea of like, if we do, like, that's an opportunity, or find one. Traveling, like, just
Okay.
something to kind of like do.
Well, I guess then before we wrap up tonight, since we still have a few more minutes, you guys can decide what happens next, because you have lots of options.
I do want Rylar to try and see if he can talk to Goo again.
All right, so let's write down
Now
what
that
you
we're
want to
outside
do.
the pocket dimension.
So one of the first
I have a
things you want to
question for
do is, well, do you want to try and do what you guys were talking about and find a way from the position that you're at now to climb your way to the top of the ziggurat somewhere?
Yeah.
You're pretty sure there are, from what you can see, you're pretty confident you'll be able to make that happen. So climb ziggurat is number 1. I mean, it's not exactly accurate, but you get, climb outside.
Yeah.
And second is Rylar new ritual, right?
Yes.
And
I have a question.
by the way, I forgot something to describe something to you. While you guys are still standing here talking and processing what just happened with her pulling out the thing and the body crumbling to dust, and you picked up some ashes and you had a little bit of a conversation, you all start to hear kind of a loud cracking sound. Just kind of every once in a while. And it sounds like it's coming from the central tree. And you get the sense that she had basically fused with this central tree, and that if you remember what you found out from the beholder's notes, she was able to create the bramble wall from here to there, and so it must be connected. But this is the core. So this is where since she's now gone and dead and you pulled out the nodule, its stability is now in question.
One.
You don't think it's like cracking in a rate that you need to like speed the hell out of here, but it is kind of nerve-wracking to hear that cracking and like, oh crap, maybe we should get off of this thing.
Yeah, so I guess no going to the top.
That's
Well,
fine.
no. You can you can either go all the way down, or basically there were. I didn't quite describe it, but there were bridges offshot from the tree to the outer sections, so that the temple people could travel to those outer sections. So you can just basically go down outside the outer temple to that one layer below, and then make your way up the bridge and then over, and then there should be exits to be able to climb up on the top of the ziggurat.
Okay.
So we'll say that you do that. That'll be the first thing that you guys do is that's the climbing outside the ziggurat. But now you realize that it also means if you do that, you're going to have to climb your way down on the outside of the ziggurat, because it might be too risky to go back and try and go down the tree because its stability may not. I mean, you can make your choices, whatever you want to do. Either one won't necessarily be easy, but. So climb the ziggurat outside, Rylar new ritual, climb down the ziggurat, and then what? I guess you guys can think about that between now and next week.
I mean, I know that Lorkris wants to have a conversation with Emillynn because he has some questions. She might be.
Okay. So you can, I suppose, have that conversation while you guys are climbing, because it'll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we can have that conversation while Rylar is trying to
Do the ritual, yeah. It'll take 3 hours.
Better in that time because it's about magic.
Yeah. Or
I could turn us all into little birds and fly to the bottom.
you can turn everybody into birds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What spell is that?
It's called animal shapes. Your magic turns others into beasts. Choose any number of willing creatures that you can range. Transform each target into that form, large or smaller beast, with a challenge rating of 4 or lower. On subsequent turns, you can use your creatures into.
You're cutting out.
It's called
Point at the mic.
We lost you at use an action to.
On subsequent turns, you can use an action to transform affected creatures into orbs.
And it's concentration for 24 hours.
Wow. Okay. That's super easy then. That would be... Rylar's like, holy crap, you can do that, Miss Fern. I would love to do that. That sounds amazing.
Look at the birds.
Philip's like, what's gonna happen if you turn Miss Ray into a bird? It's gonna mess up her thing? Can she turn back again?
She will absolutely turn back.
How am I gonna float over her shoulder if she's a tiny little bird?
Do you want to pick a bigger bird?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, so then I can like ride her like a horse, like she rides horses? That sounds like fun.
Do you want to do like an eagle?
Yeah. What's that? Okay. So
And then
that's what you do.
turn
You'll,
everybody into an eagle.
it says willing people.
Yeah.
So all right, so you guys will do that when you guys come get outside and scout, and then and you guys need to be thinking about what you want to do next. Like, I mean, I guess after that, because you have options, right? I mean, you could either try and go back to MGA to report all this. I mean, it also, your decision will be informed by what happens with Rylar. If it turns out that Rylar's secondary theory is correct and you have to leave the barrier, then you're basically in a position of deciding, do we want to leave the barrier to try and have Rylar contact? If we leave the barrier, do you want to go talk to somebody or just continue on? And then the other option obviously is if you don't leave the barrier, or if you go back into the barrier and make your way through the deep wood to see if you can witness the mountain and maybe head over to the triumvirate. I mean, you have lots of options, so be thinking about what you guys want to do. And you can talk about that as we do the stuff starting next week.
And then Fern is just, while they're talking, Fern is just gonna talk to Chonkapillar the whole time. About how good he's doing, how proud, how hard it probably is, but it's so cool that he's doing it.
Indeed.
Chonkapillar.
I think that's a perfect place to wrap up, unless anybody has any other questions or anything they want to add. No? Okay.
We'll wait till next time.
All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you, amazing folks, for joining us tonight. It's been an honor and a pleasure as always. And thank you guys for being the bestest role players that we could possibly have met, and the bestest friends.
Hey, thank you guys for everything. And for being our friends.
That's right.
Yes.
Ditto. So hi, chat. Perfect time to wrap up right at just a few minutes before the 4-hour mark. My goodness. We appreciate you guys. We had so many folk in tonight saying hello. D-Gamer Aries. Being able to stick it out, Banana Tom, Robo Ninja, iRock, Spiper.
Everybody.
I don't want to leave anybody out. Any lurkers?
Everybody in the club.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in the club.
We appreciate each and every one of you, and especially our mods tonight. Thank you so much, mods.
When I went to the bathroom, you said something about a raid. Did we get raided or something?
No,
Oh, okay.
I misread what Goblets wrote.
Okay. So Goblets dropped by tonight?
Yeah, he was mad that we didn't show up in his list of people to raid.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, he would have raided us.
Gotcha. No worries. No worries. KK, well, you guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. And don't forget, check out Extirpatefate's stream tomorrow. What time are you going on tomorrow, buddy?
I don't know what time is Drew go to work.
I start at 11.
Okay. Probably around 11:30 or so.
Okay.
11:30 to 12.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Pacific.
we will see you there and see all you guys there too. Good night. Big hugs.
Night.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Philip loves you.
Chocolate Pillar.